What is up, everybody? Welcome to ToothAndTailTV, the show where you submit replays and we cast them. And tonight we've got a special guest caster. Joining me on the desk is Skyraider. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. I'm very excited to see what replays we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, we gotta...
There's not a lot, though. Maybe someone can send in some replays.
Yeah, a little crowdsourcing replays might be needed tonight. Yeah, there was a little balance patch on Tuesday. I did get a lot of submissions, but the game was changed a bit on Tuesday. Snake HP down from 27 to 35 and can hurt structures again. And artillery got changed back up to 180 cost, but I guess the build time is still a little different than other tier 3 units, so that made some desync issues. So I had to go through and kind of shift on what would be workable tonight. But there are some events coming up too I want to announce. On February 10th, Josh's Spring Showdown tournament. The information's in the tournament page on the Discord pinned. Me and AV Ultima will be casting that here on TnTTV, and it's at 12:30 p.m. EDT. Maybe you can help me out, Sky. Is that the same as EST? I think it's different in different times a year, right?
I'm sorry, I zoned out a little bit because I was looking at Sakuya's league. I live in Central Time Zone. It would just be 1 hour behind.
Well,
East is East.
EDT to EST, I think Eastern Daylight Time. I don't want to say it's at 12:30 EST, but somebody probably knows better. But yeah, Skyraider, talk a little bit about Sakuya's league.
Oh boy, Sakuya's league. It's already started, actually. It started yesterday. And the first 4 weeks are kind of like the qualifiers. People have been put into groups, and now they are going to be competing to get as many points as possible. And depending on how many points they rally up from their group in total, that will place them into one of two categories. Theory of the Feast, which is considered like the high-level group, where 8 people will be... I think it's 8 people. It might be 16. I'll say it's 8. Where 8 people will be fighting off for first place. And then there's a second group, Hero of the Hungry, where the second best people will be fighting for their respective places. So that will be very interesting. I believe they're going to cast all of the replays for the qualifiers too, which is going to be very interesting. So we're going to get some really good matches come out of that.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I got to get with Sequoia a little more. We've been talking a little bit about him, maybe me helping him cast some of the games. So we'll definitely go with him and keep you guys posted. But looks like a lot of fun. I think Cyborg is sharing the link in chat. Yeah, if anybody else has a link to the Tooth and Tail League, feel free to share that. Awesome, Premium Bo sent in another one. Good, because yours was desynced, man. I couldn't play it. Maybe we'll get that in. But are you ready, Sky? You ready to cast some games, man?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's hop into game number 1 here. Fins, how do you say that?
Vincent? I'd say.
Vincent? Yeah, I guess. Okay, Vincent versus Chester Cat. Let's do it. All right, spawning in the 12 o'clock position, we've got Chester Cat. And
off to the left, we have Vincent.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it, man. So this does have snakes in it, but it is post the new patch here, so be cool. Well, actually, there's no structures, so I was gonna say it'd be cool to see it hit some structures. I guess maybe gristmills.
Well, mines are technically a structure, but they don't play like most conventional structures. Yeah, both players have snakes, so I think they're going to be trying out the new snakes because of the new patch.
Right. It might make that early kind of like, get 9 or 12 squirrels in a tier 2 unit and push out, might make that attack more effective now that snakes can do damage to warrens and poke and prod in that way now,
Yeah, the only problem with doing that is if the enemy just wants to fight you on open ground, snakes aren't the best early on in just open ground engagement. So like if Chester goes for like chameleons or falcons and even lizards, and then Vincent goes for a snake push, he could probably just clean it up. But who knows what they're going to do.
Yeah, so far nothing crazy. Both players just kind of macroing up, Chester Cat getting that tier 1 worn out, just slightly faster, being a little safe, but I kind of like where Vincent can go in the mid game here, man, because he's got that nice natural base, and it's going to be rough for Chester Cat to really expand, I guess maybe besides the 3 o'clock over there,
Yeah, if he grabs the center expo, that kind of frees up the expo on the right and the one below it, but it has that high ground that makes it a little bit awkward to hold. In general, Vincent's position is a little bit better. Yeah, he's even going for a campfire with some mines right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, sneaky mines, and that is the benefit, you can almost double mind game somebody, right? Like, you know, obviously when they scout them, they think you're gonna sell them, but if you keep them there, you know, they might assume you sold them and run into them anyways. I mean, look at that. If that mine was there, it would have hit all those lizards.
Oh yeah, that would have killed all of them definitely. I'm actually kind of surprised he sold. Maybe he saw Chester's army and was like, I'm not gonna bother with that. But those mines could have picked up a lot of value there.
Yeah, a good idea from Vincent to just not worry about that campfire for now, though. Just kind of taking it easy. And so far, no big commitment out of either player. Just kind of getting a whole bunch of tier 1. Kind of in that tier 1 chicken, you know what I mean? Where if I stop making it, you can overrun me.
Yeah, but I think there's a certain point where whoever gets the first T2 and the other guy commits to T1, and the other guy doesn't die with a T2, he's at a pretty good advantage because T2 are pretty good.
Yeah.
You can't ignore them, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess the levels are okay. In the chat, let me know. Normally you guys are screaming at me. I did a sound check, and I guess for once it actually worked. But here we go. Vincent's done messing around. Moves in for an attack, but at the same time...
Oh, no.
Oh!
Are we going to see a base trade here?
Nice little mine hits, but Vincent's got a much better position for this, and he's just going to be able to snipe Chester Cat when he went out of position for the campfire.
Oh. That was a bit anticlimactic. I was hoping for some big fireworks, like a bunch of expos. It was just a base trade.
Well, was Chester Cat not aware of all of Red's lizards right there? Do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very easy to think you're safe against lizards, and then you move out, and right as you move out, the lizards attack, and you're just like, well, I just lost like 4 farms for free.
Yep. Yeah, that's basically what happened, but it was a knockout blow there. But all right, let's hop into game number 2, man. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. 3.
It was a very clean victory.
Yeah, indeed. All right, man. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, spawning in the 3 o'clock, we've got Raucous Bacchus. Raucous for short.
And all the way off to the left, we have Fion.
There's a lot of games that got submitted with Fion in it. I'm not sure if they're actual games that Fion made, you know, that he submitted, or if he's just been laddering a lot lately. I feel kind of bad for those guys, man. Like, that happens to Valeris a lot, too. He's just, like, grinding so often, you know, it just happens to be in a lot of replays, but...
Yeah.
Man, we've got the artillery cannon here, so I guess 180 food didn't really scare Raucous away.
Nope, I'm actually quite surprised of Raucous's deck. It's just a Lizard, Pigeon, and then Badger. That's his only attacking units. My prediction for this game is it's going to become... They're going to try to divide the map, and there's going to be a lot of sniper balloons, artillery bunkers, and it's going to be like Owl versus Badger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where Fion probably wants to take it, you know, because he's got the Owl in his deck. He's got more of a standard composition, but Raucous's plan is pretty straightforward, right? I'm going to build lizards in the early game, mid game. I can apply a lot of pressure. I can maybe get in a snipe like we saw in game 1. And okay, if that doesn't work, I can bunker down a little bit and get that Badger Pigeon going, right? Yeah,
and if you don't kill them with a Lizard aggro, you can also just go into a Badger rush, and if you do enough damage early on, they can't really do anything to stop you from just rushing out a Badger and finishing them.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did include some desync games, guys, but I just opened it real quick, and if it was desynced and it had snakes or arty cannons in it, I just didn't include it to be safe because of the patch. So sorry, guys. I mean, if you have another replay, you can submit real quick to my email. I could probably get it on. We don't have a whole lot tonight, so...
Yeah, the balance update was very abrupt. I was actually surprised when DJ was talking about it, and he was like, oh, there's a new update. And I was like, what? There is? Yeah, they changed snakes and drumfire, and I was like, wait, what? There's like no PTR for it? I think there was for like a day or two, but I was really surprised.
Yeah, the Arty Cannon was a little out of control, man. What was that game we had? I think it was DJ versus Pyle last Thursday, where DJ just made like 40 drumfire cannons or something, did this big drumfire creep. It was absolutely insane.
That was DJ versus Swifty.
Versus Swifty,
here we see Fion going in for a Toad Squirrel push. Toads go off. Oh, that one Toad gets mowed down by MD. That's not good. And I think Raucous is, yeah, he's just going to clean up with the lizards. The Toads didn't get the best connections in the world. Only 2 of them actually went off.
Right.
And I think they're just both going to back up and try to eco from here now.
Yeah, if you're Raucous, you can't feel bad about that, man. I mean, You know,
Yeah, that could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Squirrel Toad versus Lizard, 9 times out of 10, that's gonna go to Squirrel Toad. So nice hold by Raucus there, and now he wants to get that Badger out.
Yeah, and he grabs an extra expo too, probably for a little bit of territory, and he's gonna place down some. Oh, sorry, that was Fionn. It's probably We're gonna try to get that extra territory and then try to divide the map.
Have you seen the Drumfires post-patch? I haven't got a chance to play in the last day or two. I mean, what do you think?
I have not used much Drumfire, but something that's interesting enough about Drumfire is they did not revert the Drumfire entirely. It doesn't have AoE on its shots. It fires, I think its firing is still the same. It fires like 3 ferret rounds basically, and then has like a 1-second reload. So it's more akin to just having like 3 or 4 ferrets than it is like the old Drumfire.
Great engagement there for Fionn, man. Really smart to keep his Toads back like that, you know, not let them just run into the tower. And Raucus really couldn't contest with just Lizards, and Fionn's gonna knock that expansion out. But not the end of the world for Raucus, because that 12 o'clock base is, you know, pretty safe, to be honest. Like, it's got walls all around it, not really any other avenues of attack, you know, besides the main way in.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to go straight through the bunker if he wants to get to that expo. But he did. Fionn actually did sacrifice a few Toads to take out that mill, and that might have actually been better for Raucus, because I think 4 Toads went off. So
yeah, that is a good point.
A little awkward there.
He didn't have to do it, but I think he was kind of getting worried, thinking maybe his window was closing, you know, and just wanted, because he intentionally did that, right? So maybe he was just trying to burst it down real quick and get out of there before things got dicey. But the Badger's out now, man. And
oh boy, the Badger.
The Owl's not too far off, but, you know, just one Badger versus one Owl, I'll favor the Badger any day of the week.
Yeah, and the Owl needs about a minute to actually build up its mice, so if Raucus senses that he has a good timing, he could just go in like right now and probably just clean up. Fionn doesn't have much in terms of defenses.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, man. Like, let me see what Raucus knows. I don't think he's not aware of the tier 3. I don't think he's got a scout in a minute, right? Because no, actually, I guess he has.
Yeah, he just might go for it and attack though, because it seems like a pretty good time to attack.
Yeah, I think you're
or
right.
He's just going to eco. Who knows?
I think he had that window there, but he probably wasn't 100% aware of it. You know, and doesn't want to move out and lose his big army at this point in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely getting into a macro match here, so let's take a look at the map a little bit. I haven't really been commenting so much on the gristmill positioning as much lately, because like most games are so short, you know, but
yeah, I think the map is slightly better for Raucus here because of having that extra defensive structure is really nice. Once you start getting a lot of Drumfires down, you can just start cleaning up. Oh, we have an engagement here. It's actually going pretty well for Fionn. I didn't think it would go that well, but half his army was kind of just waiting in the back.
Yeah, I'm surprised he got that much damage done, man. He took out the Drumfire, took out the turret, you know, killed a few of Raucus's, you know, smaller tier 1 units, but the Badger's still alive, the Owl's still alive, and those snakes must have done some good work to those structures, man. And the mice.
Yeah, and I think some of the Toads went off too, just finishing them off. It was a very quick fight, and he got out before all of his mice died, so he didn't actually lose that much. So just all in all, a pretty good engagement.
Yeah, but I am worried about Fionn if this game goes into the super late game, man, because looking at the split, which is kind of where the Owl is right at this moment, you know, we've got like 4 gristmills on Raucus' side and only 2 for Fionn.
Yeah, and it looks like Fionn is trying to poke and get as much value up to make it as harder for him to get established in the middle.
Yeah, this area is
all
gonna
the pigeons dying. No one's left for the Badger.
You know, actually though, I think, yeah, like this base right outside Raucus' main, I doubt that's ever gonna get taken, right? Like, no way Fionn's gonna give Raucus that much room.
Yeah, and all he has to do is just kind of keep snakes over there to keep tagging it. And he's going in again. He didn't build up all of his mice. There was only 2 mice there, but he brought him enough time to snipe that balloon.
Yeah, those pigeons don't heal structures, man. So those mice snake stacks actually got a lot of work done to that balloon pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, little lizard run around, man. Let's see if Fionn spots it. Raucus is trying to take his, you know, be careful and run around completely.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what the lizards. I guess he'll get a few wardens, which is just good. Unless, oh no, he pulled out a little bit too quickly in his focus fire. He could have gotten like a warden or 2, but his focus fire was a little off. And as a result, he just loses like 2 or 3 lizards for free.
Yeah, they kind of split the damage between those two warrants. He probably thought he had more time there, but Beyond's coming in again, man. And the real story is these tier 3 units or tier 2 units dying. One snake does go down.
The owl.
Man.
Oh, no. The owl tanks a little too much.
Yeah, Fion was trying to keep the owl on the front line to, soak some damage for the fight, but damn, man, you really can't lose your tier 3 units. It gets rough. Is he gonna sell it?
And a lot of the time you'll think, oh yeah, the owl, it's gonna be like kind of staying in the back or a little bit in the front. It's not gonna go down, and then all of a sudden it's all the way out in the front, and you're like, oh, well, there's the owl.
Yep. Yeah, it happens, man. But Fion sold off some of his tier 1 to get that owl back out, and let's see. I mean, the economies are pretty similar at the moment. I mean, really these two bases, not only the middle base where Rox is at right now, but that one southeast to it, man. It's going to be hard for Rox to take either of those in reality, don't you think? So it makes it a little more even.
A very small engagement there. All the lizards traded into the toads, which wasn't very good for Ruckus, and then the badger wasn't too far back to actually do much in that fight, but it was an engagement for sure.
Yeah, it was a thing. It happened. But yeah, man, like this middle and this 2 o'clock base, never being taken actually does make the split pretty even for the players. Ruckus did manage to sneak that campfire in the 6 o'clock when he was doing that lizard run around, so it gives him a slight edge over Fion if we're coming down to draining the map out completely.
Yeah, and taking the base all the way at the top is a little risky for Ruckus, just because the owl, you can just Fion can just take the owl over and drop over some mice, and now there's a bunch of mice in your expand.
Yeah,
but he still has that base at the bottom that you could take. That's relatively safe.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, so far nothing crazy. Really, the big thing here, man, is Fion is going hard on these snakes, dude. He's trying to produce up to 8 snakes here.
Yeah, and while the mice go on, the snakes can tag a lot of structures, since Ruckus is going pretty heavy into structures like that.
Damn.
Bunker for free.
That worked very well.
To seal up the snakes. Yeah.
He's gonna try to come in and do it again. Gonna lose the snake this time.
One snake goes down. The mice come in to save the snakes.
Yeah, this forces the engagement that Fion wants, having a little bit of a more value-based army here.
Yeah, he should have waited like an extra second so the badger revved down, but he pulled back after that, so it's just very small skirmishes, no player really wanting to commit to a full engagement there.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. We are 10-minute, 30-second into this game here, so, I mean, these armies these guys have, you lose this army once, most likely your opponent will be able to snowball in and take you out, but it really depends on how the trade goes.
They've been very small armies, too, for a game that's going 10 minutes, and that's generally because there's a lot of harassing, there's a lot of really small skirmishes. You don't have a lot of time to build up a big army. Yeah. And none of them tried to go super eco.
Yeah,
so they don't have money to spare.
Instead of being able to afford more and more warrens, you gotta keep reinforcing out the ones you already have. But Badger number 2 almost here, man, and Ruckus is trying to get this 4 o'clock base here, so if Fion lets him have that, he will gain an economic edge on this map, eventually, so.
Yeah, and that might force the battles to be a little bit lower, which, if that's the case, it's actually, I'd say the map is a little bit favored for Ruckus because of that choke point. That makes mice passing a little bit weird, and it's very easy to place a drum fire or a sniper balloon over there. Probably turrets at this point.
Big engagement coming down. Now, Fion is he just going to use the mice? No, he's going to commit a little bit here. He's going to lose the snake. Get some poison stacks on the badger.
Yeah, he loses a lot of snakes, actually.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah, the pigeons to seal it back up to full. He didn't get any tags off on the badger to kill it.
Yeah, owl number 2 is on the way, though, and this is what Fion really needs, man. He needs to pump up that owl number to, like, 3, and just have a ton of mice.
Yeah, you gotta be very careful about attacking into a lot of owls very quickly. Because if you do that, you could get like 3 owls out at once, and then the enemy just goes for a timing attack. And if the enemy just gets like 3 badgers, and they attack when you get your 3 owls out, you are kind of down.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. The owl is not gonna. The badger probably benefits the main army. Badger or wolf, more so than any other tier 3. Owl is kind of like damage over time, right?
Yeah. And just very efficient trades.
So really, these little engagements is exactly what Fion is hoping for here. But I feel like the clock's ticking, man. He can't let Ruckus just have another base on him, Like, that's going to matter the later this game gets. I don't know. Maybe Fion is just kind of waiting for owl number 2. You know, let the mice build up and apply the pressure there.
I guess some snakes going on at the bottom. I'm going to try to poke.
Little sneaky snakes.
If Raucus doesn't respond quick, he could lose the gristmill. Oh, he's going for a counterattack. That's not actually that bad. Toads go off, don't get very good connections. Sniper Balloon's going to go down.
Yeah, not bad.
Badgers, yeah. He gets out just in time where all of his T1 die, so his Badgers take very little damage. So he doesn't accidentally lose a Badger to poison, which is very good.
Yeah, but Raucus did bleed off a ton of tier 1 in that fight, man. He was
yeah,
on
I
the
don't
losing
actually
edge
think
of
he
that.
killed a Sniper Balloon in some like T3, but I don't actually think that was worth it in the end.
Fion's got 2 owls out now, man, so he's just waiting on these mice to populate, and he can go in for a very strong push.
Yeah, his T1 army is basically just mice and the 3 toads, so whereas Raucus is constantly having to replenish those lizards, Fion just has his own free T1 army.
Yeah, here we go. Fion's ready, man. He's got his mice out. Let's see if he can get it done.
Yeah, that bunker's not going to go down. It's going to get instantly killed.
But it's an
the
awkward...
lizard's pathing is a little bit awkward. For the lizard just kind of sitting up there, just chilling out. Oh, man.
Yeah, so far a good trade for Fion. He's got him in this little choke point here, too. Like, that lizard pathing was really awkward. The snakes having the better range could fire up and kind of, you know, hit some of them for free. But Raucus is getting a better end of it on the chase. Killing a lot of snakes here.
Yeah, oh, he almost lost an owl there, too. The Badgers are fully revved. Oh, this is really terrible, actually. He's going to lose everything.
Yeah, this is what Raucus has been waiting for all game, man. 2 Badgers just fully revved up with a bunch of pigeons healing. Just shreds through Fion's army, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah, and Fion was just trying to retreat, so he lost an extra, like, 2 snakes for free.
Yeah, the skins I have, guys, are custom skins. There's a link under my Twitch profile to most of them up on, like, you know, Google Drive, so check them out there. But okay. So, game number 3 here, Massive Stealth versus the Gentleman. What do you think, Sky? Who do you think is gonna win this one?
I don't know, honestly. I feel like either player could do like a lizard run by and sniper mill. That's what I'm expecting. There's been a lot of that on ladder, actually.
Yeah, I wonder if Gentleman's still going for that like lizard and then just 5 defense style. We'll have to see. But you ready to hop into the 3rd game here, man?
Yep.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, spawning in the 1 o'clock. As Archimedes, we've got the Gentleman.
Spawning all the way at the bottom in the blue trunks, we've got Master Stealth at 4 farms. Oh boy.
Oh, here we go. We got some shenanigans afoot, and Masses really gonna want to scout the Gentleman very quickly to make this the most effective, and so far, not lucky.
Took the worst path too, so he's probably just gonna go back. Oh, he's still committed. He's going for a lizard ward.
Yeah, let's see if he's going double lizard. Oh man, he is ready. He's just blind 4-farm double lizarding his opponent. I love it, man. I think it's really healthy for guys to do this on the ladder, you know? I mean, keep it fresh, you know, prevent people from being able to just go straight 8 farms.
Yeah, I don't think Gentleman really cares though. He's still farming up.
He just now scouts.
You saw that his opponent was on 4 farm, but he was just on those farms anyways. He's gonna believe in the mines, but are the mines going to actually get down? That's the question.
Just sells 1 farm, but Massive Stealth's already here with a few lizards. He should be able to come in and get a pig. Let's see if that mine really helps out. It does kill a lizard, but Massive Stealth gets a pig, and let's see if he wants more damage than that. He's trying to get over here and hit this tier 1 Warren when the pigs can't fire back. Forces a sale at a Gentleman, very nice. And Gentleman's in a little bit of trouble
for the
here.
2nd Warren. Oh boy, yeah, he's gonna get his production camped. He's going for the pigs, picks off a pig. Oh boy, now things are getting a little dicey. Lizard comes in. Are they going to save the last pig? Oh, they don't even save the last pig. That's very rough.
Damn, and Massive Stealth got plenty of damage done with that rush. He's got to be feeling like he's in good shape here. He drops a single mine, probably more as a ward, you know, to scout than anything else, but Gentleman not going to let it go down. Man, that was a...
Question is...
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was really brutal.
Yeah, that was a really fun early game, man. But what were you saying?
The question is now, does Master Stealth go back in eco? It looks like he is. He doesn't sell any lizards, so he's going to keep his army back up, just in case Gentleman commits entirely. But, are we going to see an eco game from now?
Yeah, I like the decision, honestly, not to sell the lizards for massive stealth. I mean, I do rushing every now and then on the ladder.
Oh no! Here comes the mole.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's gonna try to finish it.
Yeah, but
I think he's gonna use the mole to trigger the mine. Oh, that was a really good mine hit.
But it's still triggered on all the lizards, man. So that mine not quite doing his job. Massive stealth coming in a little too early. And that pig just barely lives. Feels bad, man, for Massa there, but great defense by the gentleman for sure.
Yeah, that single mine hit every single lizard and did most of its damage to the mole, I think. So it's like the best outcome you could have had.
Yeah, but yeah, what I was saying earlier, man, is if you do a four farm double rush and you get damage done, I think it's probably correct to not sell a lizard warren in a lot of cases, because if your opponent, you know, just comes in to try to counterattack you, you can kind of get caught a little bit with your pants down, you know. Yeah,
it depends on how greedy you want to be and how many warrens the enemy has.
Yeah, if you think they're scared or not. Like if you know.
Yeah, if you do enough damage, there's not much they can really do in most circumstances.
That's true. That's a nice little spot for mines, man, and I'm not sure if the gentleman saw that one go down, but he's got to be aware that he's kind of been planting there over and over, but, oh, man, great mine connection there, and very favorable engagement for Massa Stealth so far.
Yeah, he might be able to pick off a pig. Yep, he gets a pig for his trouble.
Man,
so we're just perpetually at, like, low eco now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're almost at the 4-minute mark here, and we're still just on a couple lizard warrens, man, and people scrambling to try to get farms up. You know, gentlemen trying to heal up a little bit of these wounds here, and meanwhile, Master Self, you know, can't get ecoed super fast because he's trying to finance all these lizards, so...
Yeah, it's definitely better for Master Stealth at the moment, just because he's fighting over his enemy base. He's killing warrens, he's killing farms, and haven't been threatened most of the game.
Yeah, you can see from the income chart there have been little phases where Massa was ahead, and you know, minute here, you know, 20 seconds there, but they have stabilized both now on 8 farms, so we'll see where this game's gonna go from here. Massa Self, man, it's not giving it up with this lizard aggression.
Yeah, I know. There's so much straight farms.
Yeah, right? Oh my god. I mean, this map is huge.
Yeah, I'm surprised Master hasn't gone all the way over on the side of the map and picked up that campfire to get that little extra eco, but he probably just doesn't need it.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's really trying to keep this tempo up, this pressure on. You know, I mean, really, Massa hasn't been doing anything else but keeping his commander on the front lines here. But yeah, little campfire,
Gentleman's
man.
looking for an expo, or just something to get an edge, but unfortunately, his commander comes back just in time for the attack.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, you got to try something when you're behind, man. You can't just sit around and get more behind. And Gentleman does have defender's advantage here, so that's going to help him out a little bit.
Yeah, and the squirrels are coming in too. Squirrels are pretty good units. They're pretty good at defending as well.
Yep. So this is starting to look better for the Gentleman, man. If he can stabilize and, you know, take just a couple farms on that second base, start getting that economic advantage, he's going to be in good shape.
He's clearing the mines with the lizards, which is pretty good, but there's still one mine left that hasn't been triggered.
That's in a pretty brutal spot too, man. And Gentleman might think he kind of hit that spot, you know, so that could be rough. And Massa deciding now he's got to take an expansion as well. We are almost at the 6-minute mark here, and kind of expand or die at this point.
I'm surprised no one is putting mines in groups of 2. I guess if they send in 1 lizard at a time, that's a threat. But later on, 2 mines will clear entire T1 balls and stuff. It can even kill a Kasha if one of them tries to go for a Kasha rush. It's pretty good to have 2 mines together.
Don't remind me, man. I've been triggered by that several times. But yeah, it is. And if you're keeping your army near the mines, though, like, yeah, in this situation, that would have been brutal if it was 2. But, you know, just killing 1 and weakening up all the other ones, man, and then going into like a 9-on-9 engagement, you're just going to run over them.
Yeah.
Massive finally did take that campfire you talked about.
Yep. It's just, campfires are just pretty good. And there's not, I don't think there's any way for Gentleman to even go over there with lizards and kill it. He has to go through Master Stealth base.
Yeah, and Gentleman's taking a pretty significant income advantage here. He's being more greedy with the second base. You know, that last attack where Gentleman held off really well has also helped him get a little bit of an army advantage. So we're stabilized fairly well here, man.
Yeah, I'd like to see some warrens in the front of Gentleman's base so his squirrels can tank a little bit better. Because as it stands, the piggies are just going to be the only thing tanking for the squirrels if Master Self just tries to go in for a big attack. But who knows? Maybe that never happens.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Definitely in the early game, it was so scrappy. You had to try to throw them in the back where they could stay alive, but now it would be very nice to get some up there protecting his pig line for sure. I'm kind of curious on who's going to kind of be bold enough to take the first tier 2 in this game, or if we're even going to see that.
I think Master Stealth is going to tech into ferrets here soon because he has mines, he has turrets, and that's a very good combo for ferrets, especially on a close range map like this, because you get to poke from safety basically. And then when he tries to run into you, oh, there's mines and turrets.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true, man. We'll have to see. Man, Gentleman's going hard. Already taking a third base. Needs to take those last couple of... Maybe he's keeping that very... Oh, but here we go. Massive Stealth coming in with that lizard run by and just... Oh, he's going to get this gristmill. Not the biggest steal in the world at this point in the game, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He gets away with some lizards. Oh, he just really doesn't get away with that much. It actually wasn't that worth it, but I imagine this mine's going to kill everything.
Decent connection, but...
Oh, there's enough squirrels in the end, but these other mines going to carry.
Oh, man. Oh. Some good mine connections. But yeah, I mean, most of Gentleman's army there were squirrels, so that first mine hit was just on the couple of the lizards that he had. But Gentleman overextending a little bit here and let Massive Stealth come back into this game.
Yeah, the mines did just enough to stop him from going in and killing that pig.
Yeah, but Gentleman's got such an economic advantage at this point. His re-rally is kind of overwhelming what Massive Stealth can muster up, and even on top of his defender's advantage, but Gentleman decides to back out for now.
Yeah, if the enemy is just building Mass Lizard, and you're doing like a little stream fight like that, it's just going to be lizards running up constantly into your squirrels. So after a while, you're just like, I'm just going to go back to base.
Yeah, you gotta go back and regroup at some point, but man, lots of squirrels here for the Gentleman, but he does have enough just number advantage over the lizards where it doesn't matter too much. He's gonna run this one lizard in the mine, beautiful.
Yeah, in one of the engagements, one of the mines went down and it instantly procced on a lizard that then died to a squirrel shot. So a mine basically triggered on nothing, which was a little unfortunate for Master.
Yeah, we've been seeing some really good mine play here for Master. I feel like he's got a lot of value out of most of those mines tonight.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think he was just too far behind on eco because the Gentleman had like a whole 9 farms ahead of him.
Yeah. Well, I think part of the problem too is Massa took this like really bold, kind of north of his base, which would have been nice because if he can secure that, the base that was to the left of it would be easy for later, But if he took that base that was kind of northwest of him up front, he would have had a safer expansion and wouldn't have been.
Yeah. I think he should have placed a little more turrets on that hill, just to secure that position. Because as it stands, he had like one turret, which can get overwhelmed by 6 squirrels, and then he went in and sacrificed most of his lizards to get that gristmill.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? If you're just tuning in, I do want to re-shout out the Spring Showdown going on February 10th. It's Josh's tournament he's been putting together. There's a challenge and a sign-up. I'll just link the doc real quick. Here you go. Here you go. Boom, man. Sign up for that. It's at 12:30 EDT. I'm not sure if that matters this time of year, if that's 12:30 p.m. EST or if EDT is different. I tried to Google it real quick, but I wasn't fast enough, so I'm sorry. Maybe somebody in the chat knows, but check that out, guys. I'm going to be casting it here on TnTTV with AV Ultima, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And Sequoia League is going on as well. Do you have an up-to-date link for that, Skyraider? I'm not sure if the one I have is...
do. It's already in chat.
Yeah, if you guys want to send a last-minute replay, man, feel free. We did get a lot of submissions, so I do want to thank everybody for that. That patch hit on Tuesday, and I tried real hard not to make sure, or to make sure, rather, that there aren't any issues,
That's all we have to say. The snakes, they came in, they stole some of our replays.
Yeah, but hey, man, so far, the snakes have been doing pretty decent tonight, I feel like.
I think we've only seen like one replay with snakes. And that was Fionn with his owl play, which actually was doing pretty well at destroying structures.
Yeah. Well, let's see if snakes are in game number 4 here, Skyraider. What do you think? Snakes or no snakes?
Snakes. There's always going to be snakes.
Okay. All right. Skyraider says snakes. All right. Let's do it. Game number 4. Are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Spawning in.
There's no snakes. I was wrong.
Spawning in the 3 o'clock. We've got Sheer.
And all the way on the left, again, we have Valaris in the green.
Yeah, no snakes. Sheer is running the Drumfire cannon, which got changed as well, so we'll see if that comes into play or not, but right now...
Yeah, Valaris is an interesting deck. He has Lizard Mole. I guess it wouldn't be a random deck because he has no T3, but Lizard Mole is definitely an unconventional strategy.
Yeah, and he's going for it here, man. The double mole rush is coming down. Is Sheer aware?
He's gonna prove me wrong. He's gonna like kill him with just moles. Watch it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Sheer knows. Where's the turret? Is he gonna place down the turret? What's his defense gonna be? It's pretty late now, man. He needed to place that down as soon as possible.
Yeah, he placed a warn there, didn't he? I was looking at the moles.
Yeah, me too, man.
If he had a warn placed down, he probably would have just been okay with keeping the warn alive.
Yeah, I think he kind of scratched his head for a minute, wasn't sure, and it sold, and then remade something else. But so far, so good, man. He did actually manage to hold that off. Valaris hasn't lost a mole yet, but Sheer's taken the income a lot more quickly. So if Valaris doesn't get some damage done soon, Sheer's gonna be pretty ahead.
Yeah, I'm worried that these moles are gonna run in, and then one of them is probably gonna die. If Sheer focus fires pretty well, he's gonna get that low health mole down very quickly, and that's a lot of lost damage.
Yeah, these things are not full HP, man, so...
Yeah, and he's doing that. Oh, he messed up his focus fire at the last second.
Oh, gets one mole. I was about to jaw drop, man, if both those moles live. That was very, very close. Valaris needs to let these heal up and sell them off or do something, man.
Yeah, that forward Gristmill is really nice because he can just heal his moles back up to full.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, good. I was gonna say, Valaris has got to start working on an economy, though, man, you know. This is good. He's got Sheer pinned down, but if Sheer's economy is allowed to just stay ahead of Valaris, he's gonna overwhelm him eventually.
And I was like, why go back all the way to my base when I have farms up here that are just as good?
Yeah, he's pretty committed at this point, right? Like if this front position gets broken, that's probably game anyways. So he doesn't mind building those farms up here. Ooh, close.
Mole brave. He actually sells it at the last second for 10. And he's just gonna back up his bunker line.
Oh, Valaris.
I think he's backing up entirely.
Yeah, he is gonna try to get out of here alive, man. He's gonna keep that one turret here for now, I guess. That will go down, but it does force that 180 food out of Sheer to be wrapped up there. So.
Yeah, and Sheer is only now getting his T1 warns up, so he's not gonna be able to go all the way to the base and kill the Valaris. So it looks like we're starting the game. It may as well be minute 1.
Well, it's actually minute 3, man. And Valaris is trying to get some lizards to the front line very quickly. Maybe to help keep his position now. He's just going to sell the turret. That's the smart thing to do. And he's just going to let this go down.
Yeah, he might be able to just micro around the drumfire shots. It's pretty easy to micro around a single drumfire with lizards.
Oh, kind of take advantage of when it's on cooldown and get in there and deal damage to it.
Oh, he sells the drumfire, so these 2 squirrels are going to get run down by lizards. Oh, no.
Ooh, that's unfortunate for Sheer, man. He decides, okay, Valaris is backing off by now and sells the drumfire. Gets a little bit punished, but Valaris doesn't jump in on him or anything. And Sheer's getting greedy, man. He's trying to get a nice variety of tier 2 out on the board.
Yeah, I don't think the skunks are going to do that much. I think chameleons and falcons are going to do most of the work just because it's mass lizard. The skunks are going to miss most of their shots, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, skunks are definitely a lot better against squirrels, man. Against lizards, they're pretty manageable. But Valaris trying to hold this front position, man. And right now, I think it's kind of what you were talking about earlier. Like, he just really wants his territory to be able to heal in between engagements on the front line, but he's gonna go in, and those chameleons, man, gonna make it.
Yeah, the chameleon's out of nowhere, and a lot of T2. That's a little bit scary. He's gonna lose that position. He has to back out.
That puts Sheer in a pretty good spot. Let's see if he wants to keep the issue going here. It looks like he does.
He has a lot of food floated, so he's gonna have to try and build some defenses and just get stuff down as quickly as possible, because Sheer is going in. You can't stop him.
Yeah, no, this army from Sheer is pretty scary. If he can maybe get those chameleons up and target fire down the turrets with them, perhaps, or try to bait the army outside of the turret range. It's really the type of engagement Sheer.
Valaris has run into this problem with space. He doesn't have much space in the high ground, so he's trying to place warns at the bottom, but he forces a cell.
Oh, I hate when that happens, man. Or you'll spawn on like an island or an archipelago, you know? And you
Oh, yeah, those spawns are always the worst.
Like, I could place down 4 warrants, But
yeah, you gotta be very careful about what you pick.
That's when you Fox Rush, man.
Yeah.
But okay, so Valeris gonna get out some chameleons of his own, but Sheer is really trying to dominate the map, and the tables are a little turned now. Sheer's trying to contain Valeris, so I like that a lot, man. It kind of feels bad for Valeris, you know.
He might have just been able to break there, but he didn't want to risk it. You don't exactly know what the enemy has.
I love that little sneaky campfire play from Valeris, but Sheer does scout it out, but he doesn't have an incredibly quick unit. Oh, he's got the chameleons. That's ideal to do this.
Oh, but the lizards are going to run over. Are they going to intercept? Oh boy, we're going to have a fight over this campfire.
They do, but Sheer micros him back just in time to save their life, and that is a lot of chameleons here for Valeris. A little bit of his army on the backside running into that defense of Sheer here, but man, Valeris packing a good initial punch, but backs out, doesn't want to fight under all that defense and skunk clouds there.
Yeah, and he just decides to go after the Warrens. Sheer is like, I'm just going to back to my drum fire, and Valeris is like, well, I'll just go kill all of your Wardens then.
Yeah. Oh, Chip saying skunks against lizards is pretty good. I believe you, man. If the lizards aren't running around a lot, and you know, if they actually stay in that gas cloud for sure. All right. So yeah, it's rough for Valeris here, man. He did get the campfire, so he is on, you know, 5 farms, right? But Sheer's got some established extra economy going here, so.
Yeah, Valeris is kind of on the clock to get stuff done, but who knows? He might be able to do enough damage.
Yeah, he realizes he's not going to be able to break this, which would be ideal, right? Where the jump fire cannon's out for Sheer, and tries to come over here and sneak a base a little close to Sheer's, and gonna force him to take this fight, and I think Sheer is gonna be fine. Oh no, those lizards actually run over everything. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess, no, you know what, I overestimated how many squirrels Sheer had there. I didn't realize he only has 3 squirrels.
Yeah, and he had 2 falcons flying around, which falcons are pretty good, but not in low numbers like that against lizards. They just kind of get torn apart.
Yeah, my brain, when I saw that, I calculated the chameleon and falcon and just like assumed
Yeah, I did
tier
too.
1.
I just assumed there was about like 6 or 9 squirrels in there, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
All of his wardens died. He had no squirrels.
Oh, Valeris, man, he had a lot of work with the mobility of the lizards here, man. Trying to poke and prod at his opponent wherever he can. That's really what you got to do when you're behind, especially when you have quick units like the lizards. And where's Sheer army, man? He doesn't have anything anymore.
Yeah, his response is, I'm just gonna make a bunch of turrets and just sit up here now.
Yeah. Try to stabilize.
Yes. He does have 2 chameleons, so I don't think Valeris could just run in.
Yeah. And maybe he can try to sneak, you know, a Warren or something, but I doubt it. I think he wants to keep those chameleons in position for defense. And I don't know if it's going to work out for Valeris, but he's going to give it a shot. Runs in here with a lot of lizards and doesn't get anything done at all, man. Sheer didn't lose a single thing. Not one thing, right?
Yeah, the only lizard that survived in that engagement got bugged on the low ground, so he did absolutely nothing.
Look at the graph, man. Just a flat line for Sheer there, dude. Damn, good hold for Sheer.
Yeah, that was a really iffy engage, just because it's through that like 1x1 choke. There's a drum fire. There's 2 chameleons. You can't see the chameleons, but
yeah,
there was 2 chameleons.
I mean, I do the same thing too, man. You always, it's easy to underestimate that drum fire cannon. Like that just annihilates tier 1 units.
Yeah, and even if you could be like, okay, well I could probably go in with like 6 lizards, pick off a farm or 2, but he didn't even get a farm, which is always the worst. It was left at like 1 HP.
Damn, I think that chameleon like re-stealthed mid-lizard bullet projectile animation and died. Almost got out of there with both of them. Was Sheer there, but loses a chameleon there for free, so that's definitely going to help out Valeris a little bit.
Yeah, and he can't rebuild that lizard because it was an orphaned unit.
Yeah. And I can't believe this game is still going on, dude. It's 9 minutes in. Valeris was contained at one point. I'm sorry, Sheer was contained first. Valeris got contained afterwards. Now Sheer's just kind of claimed this middle. They've almost like swapped positions, you know, like if you would have drawn the line earlier. And that actually favors Sheer a little bit here because Valeris had a bit of a better side of the map to begin with.
Yeah, and if he could do something a little bit sneaky here, you could choose not to kill off Valeris's 2 lizard warrens back there, and then just have lizards occasionally stream in, and then you'll pick them off for free. That would be a little bit devious if he did that on purpose.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to see. But here we go, Sheer thinking about moving out, man. Trying to slow down the Valeris war machine. Takes an okay engagement so far, but
it's going pretty well, but that's because his chameleons were kind of in the back, so his lizards engaged ahead of time.
Yeah, having your chameleons in the right position like before fights is so important, man.
Yeah, especially a unit like a chameleon with 40 HP. That could have changed the fight.
Yeah, but Valeris has a ferret now, man. So he's got some poking potential. Sheer trying to get out of Drumfire. Valeris can deny that. It's going to be very good for him, but we'll see. The siege has begun. Is Valeris aware? He's not aware of that building Drumfire, so that's probably going to get up for Sheer here. It's already halfway done. Let's see, trying to come in again.
I don't think he can really poke. The Drumfire is not really in position right here, so that's fine. But if he wants to try to break the Drumfire, this high ground is going to make it a little bit awkward. If he holds his position right now, he can kind of just poke freely with the ferrets. But it is possible to kill Drumfires with ferrets, especially now.
Yeah. It can be difficult, but can be done.
Yeah, and there's no AoE on the Drumfire, and they fire in bursts, so you just gotta move around while the Drumfire is firing.
Gotta micro that and then kind of line your attack animation up with the little cooldown break in between shots.
Yeah, it's like a little rhythm game.
Yeah,
but
little
army comp wise, I think this is starting to look a lot better for Sheer now that he's getting a bunch of falcons and he has enough. Probably needs like an extra 2 chameleons to compete with Valeris's chameleons and lizards.
Yeah, as Chip put it to me one time, man, ferrets are kind of utility where falcons are just raw DPS into the army. So, you know, if Sheer plays this right, he can win a big engagement. But, you know, if we just kind of keep poking one another, the ferrets will add up over time. But Sheer's going to hard engage here. All those lizards just went down with Valeris, so he doesn't have much on the front line. These tier 2 units can't hit air Skyraider.
Yeah, and he might have just been able to keep there and just had the falcons shred 1 or 2 of the extra units since there wasn't enough lizards. And this is the problem with going heavy into chameleons if your enemy goes heavy into falcons. If you overkill their ground like there, the falcons just clean up everything.
So we're 12 minutes in here, and Sheer looking great in this game. Valeris trying to do something with these last couple lizards he's got with a little run by, but not going to work, and he's going to tap out. And very well played from both players. Okay, all right, what are we on here? Oh, this next game has you in it.
Oh boy.
We're in for a treat, you guys. I hear this game's pretty long, so we might fast forward a couple parts, but we'll see. We'll see how action-packed it is. Mishi said, no, wait. It's a really big replay, but it's not super long, but it's just so action-packed. That's what made the file size so big, isn't that right?
There's a lot of explosions. Prepare for Michael Bay.
Okay, here we go, man. Game number 5. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I guess I'll introduce the team that you're on, so you don't have to introduce yourself. Spawning in the top, we've got Skyraider, who's currently casting with me, and and Pillow.
Yeah, and at the bottom, we've got good old Mishi and Valeris. Valeris was already in one of the games too, so.
Oh, this is a pretty big map, my man. Lots of gristmills here.
Yeah, I get this really nice expo that's behind me. But other than that, it's kind of hard to get to the rest of the expos. They're kind of divided from left and right. There's nothing really in the middle. So a lot of the fights you would think would take place all the way on the right or all the way on the left, and that can create some really tricky scenarios.
Yeah.
And speaking of tricky scenarios, all these mole shenanigans from Mishi.
Dude, let's see if it works here. 2 moles coming down. Pillow trying to build a turret in defense. That's probably going to be enough to hold it off. I mean, it's going to be rough for Mishi to find an angle and get in there and not take damage from the turret. So yeah, he's just going to sell those moles off and back out for now.
Yeah, it's a bunch of shenanigans. It keeps you on your toes. If you do the wrong maneuver, you can easily lose 2 forms.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right, man. You're the only player that's got an easy second base here. I mean, Mishi, coming up towards the 3 o'clock isn't too bad. The space that's right south of Pillow 8, though, is going to be really hard to take with that kind of enemy territory high ground right around it.
Yeah, so really, most of the fighting is going to either be for that high ground all the way on the right, or it's going to be all the way on the left for those 3 mills.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. Really, either team could claim these 3 mills because the one that's kind of really close to Valeris, yeah, that's going to go to Valeris much easier, but the ramps there are a bit awkward.
Yeah, and just all in all, there's it's almost like we're playing a MOBA right now. We have 4 different lanes to go down.
Right.
Since the middle is divided by this forest, and all the way on the right there's that cliff, and then all the way on the left there's still a little bit of trees.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. There's a lot of little chokes on this map, and choke points are going to give the defender, you know, a good advantage, man, because you get that concave versus convex relationship going on. You can also hit units while they're still trying to shuffle to their own tile, you know?
Yeah, and if we notice these decks, there's a lot of wire, there's a lot of sniper balloon, there's a lot of drum fire. So, oh boy.
Yeah. That's where it gets crazy, man. That World War I style. I do like this play out of Valeris trying to take this base all the way to the 9 o'clock, but, you know, him and Mishi are going to have to really commit to defending that, right?
Yeah, the base goes unscouted, but then when he places down a turret, the turret just gets cleaned up, and then the squirrels were too far away.
Mishi coming into the main base, though, and getting a decent amount of damage done there. I almost missed it.
Yeah, and he's still committed to his position. He's building a drumfire all the way on the side. Oh yeah, all the way. Yeah, Mishi went and harassed and killed like 4 farms. He went through the wire and would snipe 4 farms from Pillow.
But he also saw the tier 3 building from Pillow here, so now he knows what's going on. If he's, you know, got voice chat going with Valeris certainly does too. And okay, so you're saying the 9 o'clock base just now gets scouted from your team?
Yeah, I knew it was over there, but I was just kind of too lazy to go do anything. And now, I guess it wasn't a drumfire, it was a sniper balloon. But now it's a little bit tricky to go in.
Yeah, you've got that nice expansion going on, but Pillow really trying to plant his foot down here. It's going to be difficult, man, especially with the ferret out here. You know, that balloon's already in position. Mishi's got a lot of tier 1 on the way, coming up to help out here, so. You've got some ferrets too, so if we get some sweet ferret on ferret micro here, trying to target down that balloon a little bit. Looks like your commander went down, though.
Yeah, commander goes down, I just lose all my forces, but the foxes arrive. You lose the gristmill, but the fox is here. It's gonna start poking everything. Yeah. They're gonna have to fall back to their sniper balloon.
Yeah, that fox, man, that's kind of got the whole game on her shoulders right now. Got to get a lot of value done. You know, luckily for Mishi and Valeris here, they did manage to take that expansion out of Pillow before having to back out because of the extra firepower from the fox. But so far, so good fox control.
Yeah, Pillow isn't known for his fox, but he can do pretty well with the fox. I say that and it gets hit by a ferret. Well,
it's the caster curse, man. Welcome to it.
I find it funny here because at the time, I'm like, yeah, I'll buy the gristmill, I'll tank with it, I'll do it, and then I had to sell it later on because, well, my teammate, he doesn't have any gristmill, and he's like, could you sell it for me, please?
That's a good
I'm
point,
gonna starve, but I'm like, oh yeah.
What if you don't? Oh yeah, you barely. If you are gonna sell, you gotta sell like right now.
Yeah, I saw it like the last. Yeah, there you go. But if you notice what Mishi's doing at the bottom, this is the problem with the map right now is. If you commit all of your forces on one side to get these gristmills, and the other guy has a bunch of lizards, he can just run around on the other side and clean up a bunch of gristmills, and it either forces you to commit to an attack, and try and do enough damage to the enemy where it forces the enemy to retreat, or you just kill them.
Yeah.
Or you try to go back and deal with the lizards, which is never a good option, because the lizards can just run away, and then you lose a bunch of stuff for free.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some defense would be good, but even defense is not going to help you defend 2 fronts at once very well, right? Because you know.
Yeah, I thought one piece of wire would have been enough of a deterrent to keep the lizards away, but Mishi was just like, nah.
That's Mishi, man. He's got a ton of lizards here, and that's obviously the strategy he's going for. But Mishi hasn't really been able to establish an economy either, man. You're really the only one here who's got a second base that's up and running.
Yeah, there's a huge lizard swarm going after the Kasha. It just dives on top of everything. But yeah, that kind of cleans up all the lizards because there's a piece of wire. Did a good amount of damage. And the lizards really weren't doing that much damage because they already spent half of their time trying to go after a Kasha.
Yeah, Pillow doing a good job keeping the fox alive this game, but man, Pillow's kind of in crisis mode now, man. He's got to get this base up. You know, Mishi and Valeris keep running in there and denying it over and over again, or at least making it more difficult to take, you know, draining more and more income from you guys. But yeah, let's see. Okay, Mishi did end up starting to stabilize that 4 o'clock base, so. Yeah, really, Pillow's the only one who really needs to secure this expansion at this point, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of secured at the moment. Especially since my base is down there at the moment, it's just going to absorb a lot of fire. And as long as that base is up there, they're not going to really be able to poke Pillow's base.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and I get to pick a sniper balloon there, which is pretty good. It buys me more time.
Yeah, these ferrets coming out ruining your your barbed wire plans a little bit there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get wire down there so Mishi can't take 20 lizards and run into my force again and just kill everything.
Yeah. Pillow has been doing a really good job keeping this fox alive this game, man. I mean, it's kind of a rough position for a fox. You know, the enemy's, uphill. They've got balloons. You know, drum fires coming down. So.
Yeah, ferrets. If you're not paying attention, it's very easy to get 10 HP lost because of a ferret shot.
Yeah, or if it's like coming in and you just commit to starting an attack, you know, you just kind of miscalculate it barely. That's what happens to me more often, where I'm like, okay, it's coming in, but I think I can get this off in time.
The sniper balloons are also pretty key in this kind of fight, just because there's a lot of range going, there's a lot of ferrets poking, there's a lot of Kasha. Having that sniper balloon vision is very helpful, and you can see like right here for the drum fire even, the sniper balloon is providing a lot of vision. I sacrifice a lot of squirrels to try and get that sniper balloon down, because now what it allows me to do is poke this drum fire from relative safety.
Nice. Yeah, it's a nice little forest cover you got going on there, man. It's going to be rough for lizards to wrap around into those little choke points. Trying to commit onto the fox and does get it is Mishi. He's got to be really good about that.
Yeah, that was extremely rough. We get the drum fire though, but it's not good. Kasha is infinitely more valuable.
Yeah, Pillow does have enough left over to get another one out, but that's really all he's got at this point. The rest of the army is basically up to Skyraider, but you know, red and blue don't have a whole lot either, right? I mean,
yeah, I've got a bunch of squirrels, a wire, some balloons, and a dream.
Yeah. And I actually really like this game. We see defensive structures, but we don't see a ton of defensive structures, right? Like each player's building one, maybe
there hasn't
two.
been enough like just sitting around and doing nothing to really build up that much money. It's been constantly harassing, so you don't have that opportunity to just place down like 20 drum fires.
Oh, Mishi's gonna get the fox war in here. Great pickup. That feels bad if you're Pillow, man, because that was really what he was counting on to help you out in this game, man. And Mishi just coming in there and crushing his dreams.
Yeah, and crushing my barbed wire too, which was a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
The one thing I've learned from this game is just build as much barbed wire as you want. You can always build more.
Yeah, especially against a player who keeps trying to flank you with lizards.
I just want to get this wire down, but I'm losing a lot of it.
Okay, so what's the status of the economy right now? It looks like your 12 o'clock base is still going strong, but it's starting to mine out a little bit here. Pillow's been able to secure the space, so he's doing fine. You know, Valeris likewise. It looks like, you know, all the players are keeping that starvation farm, and Mishi actually takes his, maybe being a little confident here. So nobody seems super ahead in economy, right? Everyone's fairly even.
Yeah, there's only about 2 bases left on this map now that have farms even left on them, and that's the one that's like in the center that no one has even bothered taking, and then there's the one all the way on the left that I'm taking now.
Yeah. It's going to be hard for either of those bases to really get established. We'll have to see if you guys are able to make it happen. Mishi just trying to poke and prod, find some damage, runs into a barbed wire. He's going to wait to try to do that again until his units heal up here. And meanwhile, Skyraider is just trying to poke in, see what he can get done with these ferrets. So a little bit of an intermission in this game. You know, everyone's kind of scratching their heads, figuring out where to go from here.
Mishi is insane. He will run through all the wire in the world.
Oh my god. Pillow did throw down another tier 3 Warren, so we might see another fox here, but Mishi's ferrets, man, denying the space again for your team. And yeah, that's just one of those bases that's going to be hard, you know, to take this game for sure. So
I think in retrospect, a bunker with a wire would have done amazing work, because a lot of those lizards are like left with like 1 HP.
damn.
Oh, we have another big engagement going around. We got basically a base trade going.
Yeah, your team is moving in here and getting some decent damage done, but in the meantime, Mishi ran in, you know, sniped that Fox Warren of Pillow, and also gets his last mining base here. So Pillow in a terrible position, but you guys are able to basically bop Valeris into the same spot here, so.
Yeah, and it's just a huge like scrap right now. Pillow's desperately trying to get up a base. I have like 2 ferrets, like 3 scrolls versus like another like 4 lizards.
Kind of won the ferret on ferret fight there, though, man. Mishi dropping down
to
0
fire
ferrets.
pretty good.
That's just so, like, it's so APM intensive, I guess you could say. APM's the wrong word, but like attention intensive, you know, like while you're
Yeah,
sitting
like there I went back and was looking at something. You got to pick another ferret and extra units for free.
Yeah. It's like, man, you can't macro up, you can't be
Yeah.
placing things out.
And speaking of not paying attention, well, Polaris just snuck this base over here, which is actually really bad because if he starts placing defenses and structures over there, that threatens Pillow's only expand.
Yeah, Mishi losing a ferret to pathing, which actually kind of matters when the game is so scrappy like this. And yeah, the real story with that sneaky base, man, is that, you know, not only did Valeris take it unnoticed, but he got the balloon up unnoticed, man. That's going to make this rough to attack into.
Yeah, and I eventually come along with the ferrets and say, okay, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, that sneaky balloon wasn't quite close enough to deny that harassment from you, so... Mishi trying to come in again, but doesn't really quite have the numbers to break through the front line here. And, man, poor
Yeah,
Pillow,
he gets
man.
that sniper balloon, which is pretty good.
Yep. Alright, Valeris is knocked out again and gonna try to take this last remaining gristmill. But that's in just such an easy position to poke, man. I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to establish that. But Mishi trying to come in again with the lizard and ferrets, and good micro from Skyraider,
Yeah, the
trying
ferrets-
to stutter step, right? You know?
Yeah, and it kills all the lizards, and I don't actually lose that many squirrels in retrospect, but those ferrets, man, they hurt. Once you start getting larger numbers of them, they can really start hitting squirrel numbers.
Yeah, they're talking about defenses a little bit in chat, but I think Skyraider kind of hit the nail on the head there, man, when he was saying, you know, it's been so scrappy. I mean, yeah, I'd love to throw down like 4 or 5 balloons. I just simply can't, you know? I don't have the money.
Yeah, so it really depends on the map for 2v2 when it comes to defenses. Sometimes you get a map like this where it's actually pretty good to place defenses down just because there's a lot of like passageways, but sometimes you get a completely open map that the enemy just runs around with lizards.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, speaking of
But now-
running around with lizards.
Yeah, and I'm also starving now, so that base over there got to hold on to.
Yup, you've really got to get those 2 farms established. I mean, Valeris is kind of in the same boat, so is Pillow. Mishi's really the last one here that's got an economy running, and when I say an economy, I mean 4 farms, so it's kind of on him. That campfire, yeah, that's mined out by now, so Mishi's not going to have those farms for very much longer, man, and he didn't build a starvation farm, right? So, I mean, I guess there's that campfire that's almost dead in the corners you could maybe take, but Mishi's not long for this world here.
Yeah, and now it's really becoming about like if you can pick off a warren, if you can pick off a unit, if you can, and the ferrets, having more ferrets, especially against someone who went squirrel heavy, is going to do a lot. Like there, I lost a squirrel, and that actually hurts a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, when it gets more scrappy like this, you know, we've probably seen, yeah, look at the army value graph, man. That big spike in the mid-game, and now we're kind of coming down on the other end of that bell curve, right, where everyone's running out of money, and we're back to little bits and pieces really mattering here.
Yeah, like that little one lizard pillow tag, that could be very important. It could change the outcome of a fight.
Yeah, imagine that happens 5 times, you know. That's 5 lizards that are missing. But Mishi trying to sneak out that gristmill, barely doesn't get it, but Skyraider's probably not super worried about that gristmill at this point. Probably more worried about that squirrel warren, which does get defended as well, so Mishi put
Yeah,
back
and
for now.
the gristmill is left on like 1 HP. Pillow is now starving. Mishi is now starving. Everyone is starving.
Okay, so Mishi's only real option here, well, I guess, you know, obviously taking that 2 o'clock, you know, actually taking your main might not be a bad idea. There's a little bit of farmland left there. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what he
and he
decides
goes for
for.
it. That's actually Pillow's main base.
Oh,
and
I'm
he
sorry.
kills the
Yeah,
piece
yeah.
of barbed wire.
Gets this gristmill down, but gristmill's not super important at this point.
They can be for a fight. Like if you take a fight over there and half the lizards hit a warren instead of squirrels, that can be pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just for the
But other than
tanking
that, yeah.
and vision, you know. So it does have some.
Yeah, the
benefits,
territory as well. So there's still kind of some use, but I'd rather sacrifice a gristmill than a warren.
but- Yeah, this phase. Mishi's gonna clean this gristmill up from Skyraider. No big deal. Can't really test this straight on at this point, right? I mean, Mishi's army kind of overpowers the army for yellow and green combined here, and
Yeah, all Pillow has now is a single snake in a dream, and some farms.
Hey man, with some good micro, we could see it happen, but it's gonna be rough, man. Lizards are pretty good against snakes. I feel like you get up on them real quick and knock them out.
Things are looking a bit dire, I'd say. It's easier for Mishi's 4 ferrets to pick up value on my squirrel army because it's a lot less mobile than it is for my 2 ferrets to pick up value on the highly mobile lizard ball.
I feel like the real story here, though, is Valeris was actually able to secure that base. It's kind of mid 3 o'clock, and he saturated the hell out of it, man. He's got a really roaring economy right now. Doesn't have a whole lot of army, but he can finance a lot of squirrels and falcons here in the near future.
Yeah, and I think I'm the only one on my team really with an economy at this point. Billo has just 2 farms. So you can't even afford another snake yet, so yeah. It's up to me to hold the line.
It's definitely getting rough, man. Yeah, Valeris' economy is really tipping the scales in the favor of him and Mishi here as we're approaching almost the 18-minute mark in this game. Yeah, just a couple of limits, man. I like that a lot.
I'd say at this point, I really needed to start grabbing a lot more farms. I thought the game was going to end a little bit quicker because I was like, oh, everyone's like starving out, but then there's just enough food for Mishi to not starve out.
Yeah, Valeris kind of won the poker game a little bit here, right? Like he didn't have an army for a long time because he was like, if I take a big risk now, get up to 8 farms really quick, I might get a big economic lead on my opponents who try to play more safe, build some army, build some farms,
Yeah, build just enough like sniper balloons and wire where I can't go in and like poke with the ferrets.
And Mishi's really, Mishi's done a good job kind of poking around and defending this territory with his army because Mishi's economy is ruined too, but he's just kind of threatening, over and over.
Mishi basically controls the map at this point because he has more lizards than I have squirrels, and lizards already trade up in comparison to squirrels, and he even has more ferrets on top of that, so it's like I can't move out on the map. All they have to do is sit around, let Valaris get his eco going.
Yeah,
and from there,
look at this.
They should just be able to win.
Out of Mishi, man, he's just constantly checking both these entrances of this little territory they've grabbed. It's like northern middle, but harassment coming in. Oh no, the snake dies for Pillow, but he doesn't have another one at this point. But that goes down as well. And this is that army I was talking about out of Valeris, man. He's financed some squirrels and some falcons here to reinforce the Mishi's ferrets and lizards. And they're coming in for the hard engage on all the infrastructure of Pillow and Skyraider here.
Yeah, and all that's left of that attacking force is like a single falcon. There's some lizards streaming in, but even that fight was really close.
Yeah, but those ferrets in the back, man, surviving. Those falcons do drop in the middle of the reinforcement coming into the battle, but that's gonna be it, man. Great game, and Mishi and Valeris are able to sneak it out, and I really think it's because, like, look at that income graph, man. Like that eight farm gambit that Valeris went for in that late game, really paid off for him.
Yeah, and there wasn't much we could really do to contest that because of Mishi's army.
Yeah, I agree.
Most of my army value was in wire and sniper balloon stuff that can't really go out on the map and control it.
All right, I'll be back in like 20 seconds. Just gonna grab a drink real quick.
Okay. How's it going, stream? Are you enjoying the games?
Okay, I'm here. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm in my kitchen, so I don't know if you guys can like hear my fridge open, but it doesn't matter. We're on game number 6 here. Let me see, what time is it? 9:10. I don't want to go super late tonight, but it does look like I got a couple more submissions we could do. So we will get to those. Yeah. Okay. So that'll be 8 tonight. I think we'll make pretty good time. What do you think, Skyraider?
I'm good for whatever.
Bacon, a pizza, or lasagna. Either one of those sound amazing, man. So I guess the stream is good. The sound's good. We're not dropping frames or anything. Normally chat's pretty good about yelling at me if anything happens. No, looks like it. So did I actually get the? No, I do need to know this. Are the levels actually right, guys? Like, did I actually get that this year? Or
did we do it? Have we accomplished the incompletable?
Yeah, right. Did
the impossible even?
Did I do a successful sound check? I mean, I guess so. Somebody would have said something by now. But anyways, let's hop into game number 6 here. Surrender versus Fion. Are you ready?
As always. Oh wait, desyncs? Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, alright, 3, 2...
I don't see any, yeah.
Oh, did you already launch? Oh, no,
yeah, I already launched. Oh no. It's okay.
It's no big deal. But in the 6 o'clock, we've got Fion.
And all the way at the top, we have Surrender.
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. What time? I'll get to like 30 seconds. Is that around where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still fast forwarding to 30. Okay, I'm at 30 now. Okay, but yeah, like
Yeah, I'm at
saying,
30.
This was a replay that was on the old patch, but it didn't have snakes or drum fires in it, so I decided to keep it. And dude, you'd be surprised, man. Like I got a lot of submissions that desynced, and I checked for them, and dude, so many people were running those drum fire cannons, man. So maybe a little tweak was needed.
Yeah, Drumfire was pretty good. The build time and then the cost for it was cheap and quick enough that you could do all sorts of shenanigans with it. Like one Drumfire alone, it's okay, but like once you start stockpiling a bunch of them, it became impossible to do anything with. And of course there was the turret cheese with it.
What's a farm? You're talking about what's a farm? Well, what's a phone? Are you talking? Did you submit a replay? Did it have the Drumfire or the snake in it at all? Just let me know, man. But yeah, I mean, so far, sorry, man, I was a little distracted by the chat for a minute there, but nothing's really happened here, right? I mean, just kind of 8 farm, getting out a couple tier 1 warnings at this point.
Yeah, 8 farm, Surrender going for the campfire, Fion going for the early expansion. Nothing too unusual. I'd say this is pretty greedy opening still. 1 warren and then into an expansion is a little bit greedy.
Oh yeah, that's super greedy, man. We're very early on into this game. Not even at the 2-minute mark. I mean, a 2-minute to 3-minute expansion's pretty early. You know, 3 to 4 is a little more standard. But Beyond is kind of looking to take this to the late game, right? With the 2 tier 3 choices, and Surrender's got a ton of tier 2, but no tier 3 options. So I'd imagine Surrender, he really kind of wants to end this game, you know, around what, minute 6, 7, or 8. Not let it get too crazy.
Yeah, I think this was one of Xeno's decks that he was running. He was just like, I just want to kill people, and it kind of makes sense because you don't have enough time to get out T3. T3 involves a lot of sitting around and waiting, and we got no time for waiting around if we want to kill people.
What is a farm? That is a good beginner name, man, for sure. Or a Smurf name, dude. I might Smurf as what is a farm. But yeah, I mean, Surrender going for a quick tier 2. He's gonna be able to push out with a good. I'd actually like to see him move out right here, right now, man, because Fion has invested a lot into the second base, right? And skunks play very well against squirrels, so I mean,
yeah, he has to be a little bit careful. If Fion starts piling up a lot of squirrels and he goes in with like 1 skunk, that 1 skunk won't actually do enough quickly. And this sniper balloon's also going to provide a lot of overwatch, so
oh, yeah.
If he had a window to attack, it's probably fading now.
Yeah, I didn't even notice those balloons. They're just now going down for Fion. That's a big investment into balloons, but if he can kind of, on the backside of that, I would love to see him just take all 8 farms at this point, right? Oh, what he's trying to do actually is get that really quick fox, which I believe Surrender got the scout off on.
Yeah, these sniper balloons are an interesting spot where they're all really close to each other, so they support each other, but that high ground is still a little bit exposed. There's some flanking options still.
Yeah. And that was actually the best scout Surrender could have got, man. He saw the tier 3 warrant. Doesn't necessarily know it's a fox, but he saw that like right when Fion placed it down, man. So I'm kind of curious to see how he decides to respond to it. And it looks like, you know, with all that defense, I mean, what can you really do, right? He's just gonna try to.
You could probably go up. Yeah, you could probably just go up to 8 farm. They're placing down so many defensive structures that it's like, well, I will build falcons, a lot more squirrels, I guess. Just kind of wait.
Yeah, just kind of get swole, man. Like, I wouldn't even mind a third base if he's going to go that route. Definitely try to make as much money, because look how much money Fion's invested into balloons, right? If Surrender just dumped all that into saturating up a third base, you know, could put him in a good spot.
Yeah, but after that, he kind of has to move because of owls. He doesn't have an 8T3, so he has no good units for late game. He has a bunch of falcons and skunks that work pretty well. Even ferrets in the late game can work pretty well just because of that high burst damage. But if Fion starts piling up a lot of owls, it can be very tricky for Surrender to deal with it. The only defense he has is bunkers, and that's about it, really.
Yeah, and I feel bad, man, because Surrender had that window where he had 1 skunk. Like, I agree, if he had 2 skunks, it would definitely be better, but he still could have, you know, he wouldn't have been able to end the game there, but he could probably use the skunks to take a favorable engagement, right? And then you're at least trading with Fion, and you're not going to let him invest all this money into tier 3.
Yeah, you can't just plop down 2 owl warrens and a bunch of sniper balloons. It forces them to build more units.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, if Surrender kind of took advantage of that small little window he had, which, you know, it's really hard to know that, but, you know, I feel like maybe he would be in a better spot here. But Fionn is really hunkered down, man. He's got a solid defense, and he's building up, like, I didn't even notice it, but Fion's cut everything out, man. He's just building tier 3 at this point, so he's got no, you know, kind of front lines. He's really just going to rely on the mice for that, right?
Yeah, and sniper balloons. He's kind of relying on his enemy not really attacking. The enemy just might be able to attack right now and do a lot of damage. The Kasha can snipe off like a few units. If it's lucky, it could hit like a falcon and kill it. But actually, right now, Surrender actually kind of has another opportunity to attack, but he can't tell this. You know, there could be a bunch of squirrels hidden in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, we have this omnipotent view, right, where we can see everything and be like, oh yeah, you could have came in right exactly right now, you know, but it can be very difficult to find that out in the game. And yeah, here comes the Fox harassment coming out of Fionn, man. I was going to comment on how he really needed to get this up and going. And so far, so good, man. Three pigs, but Surrender's going to think about moving out. Yeah, there's so many balloons, though, man. I mean, Fionn's a little out of position, so...
Oh, the commander instantly goes down. Mice are streaming in. I think this fight is still going a little bit well, but now it's starting to look a little poor.
Yeah, especially if Surrender would have been able to keep his commander alive, target fire down those balloons. He would have won this even stronger, but man, Fionn really cutting the corners on all that tier 1. I think you were right, Skyraider. I think he was like, you know, I don't want to go in there, and then he starts kind of looking at the front like, wait a minute, you know, where is your army besides these balloons and jowls, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I was suspecting a little bit too much of that Kasha there. He actually did a lot of damage, but now that his commander died again, he gets the gristmill, I think.
Yep.
There's one squirrel shooting at the gristmill. Oh no, kill the grist. Yeah, there we go. So that's actually looking a lot better now.
Yeah, trades his whole army to do so, but he's got a nice economy. I'd really like to see him go home, and yeah, now he's starting to get the memo, man. He's kind of flooding in units at this time, kind of bleeding out a little bit, and Fionn's going to try to come in for a counterattack, but I think the defender's advantage turrets are going to be enough, but instead he's going to try to poke around to the side, get out of that turret fire, get a little more damage on his Fox.
Yeah. That Wider is going to make it a little bit awkward to chase down these remaining units. But those owls are very low HP too. If he had just a little bit extra army, he might have been able to pick off an owl, which would have been huge.
Yeah, that's such great Fox bait here, though, man. Like, you know, trying to chase those down and just bleeding out units constantly to Kasha.
Yeah, and Fionn floating almost 1,000 food. You know, it's good to have a little bit of reserve food just in case. But that might be a little too much.
Yeah, he's probably just really, I mean, I know Fionn's a pretty good player. He's probably just really focused on this front line, man. And now that the microing is over, he's going to spend a good amount of that bank. It doesn't want to spend the whole thing, you know, per se. As I say that, he's going to, I mean, I would definitely take the rest of this farm, man. He needs to. His economy's falling behind Surrender.
Yeah, if there's any reason Surrender is going to win this, it's because Fionn neglected the economy for too long, and then the other guy just builds a bunch of units and attacks like he did before.
Finding little pieces of value is Fionn here, you know, poking around, grabbing a campfire, more little harassment. This is a really micro-intensive style coming out of Fionn here, and he's handling it really well so far. He hasn't lost an owl or a fox, I believe, yet, right?
Yeah, I mean, he nearly did, but now that pigeons have arrived, any of the T2 that get hit, they actually just get healed back up to full. That's something I noticed. Skunks are actually taking some Kasha rounds. And now there goes the T2, or the T3 for Fionn, and now there's a Kasha in the corner. Oh no.
That's it, man. Oh, maybe I'm still a little bit ahead of you, but yeah, the Kasha got backed into the corner and blown up upon, and yeah, Fionn tried for a while, and that is a cool little style. I actually like that replay a lot. It kind of shows an interesting style, but Surrender just kind of, you know, brought the war machine, right? Just kind of overwhelmed near at the end, and if you look at
he built the units, which are pretty good.
Yeah, if you look at the army value there, man, you know, Fionn was getting a lot of good engagements, you know, good pokes, you know, little bits and pieces here and there, but just the economy advantage, man. In the end, Surrender was able to rebuild up and come and knock his opponent out. Hey, see you later, Cyborg, man. I appreciate it. You know, he's working hard, man. He wanted to do a show yesterday, but he wants to kind of refine it a little bit before he finishes. So, okay, all right. I've got a couple more replays here. Let me just shoot these over to the old Skyraider, man. What do you think? Are you having fun?
Oh yeah, I'm having fun. Do I need to go into the files and
Yeah, I just.
oh no, sorry. Do I need to restart Tooth and Tail? That's what I meant. Yes, I have to go into the files.
No, you do not. You don't have to restart.
Okay.
So we'll do that one, and then I'm gonna send you one more real quick while you're at it. We'll do 2 more guys, and we'll finish up around 10 o'clock, so no big deal. Let me see. Or Bonk, if you're in the chat, man, all the replays you submitted were desynced. Oh crap, I sent that to the wrong person. Well, how about I send you the replay? There we go.
Dude, I'd be down for more replays.
Yeah, I got 2 more here, at the very least.
Oh, I think I might have seen one of these replays already.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
But that's fine.
Which one? The DJ one?
Yeah, I might have been there for it.
Oh, cool.
Who knows? So maybe it's a replay from the past.
All right. Aren't all replays from the past, Skyraider?
I guess that's true. They are replays, but this is advanced past. This is like all the way, like back in like 1930.
Kermit, did I don't think I got a message from you, dude. Did I? We could probably fit yours into. Oh no, you did, yeah. No, you sent a 2v2 Sunday, which is desynced, man. So message me.
Yeah, there was for those of you who are just like joining in, there was a balance update that changed Drumfire and Snake like 3 days ago. So if he sends in any replays before that time, they are going to be desynced if they have Drumfires or Snakes.
Yeah, and thanks for the raid there, Miss Liquor. I appreciate it. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, Voland123, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Cyborg subscribed, but that was hours ago. I definitely appreciate it, man. I think it was Twitch Prime sub. If you guys aren't aware, my goal, you get paid out from making money on Twitch when you get $100, right? So if and when that ever does happen, I'm gonna just throw it at the community and do a $100 tournament. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But speaking of tournaments, before we get into these last couple matches we got, don't forget about the Spring Showdown that Josh is putting together coming up February 10th. I don't want to mess up what time this is actually out. So I'm pretty soft. What's that mean? I don't know. It says 12:30 EDT. I'm not sure if that's EST. I think so. And you want to mention the league again?
The Sakuya League. I don't know if it's called Sakuya League or if it's just like Tooth and Tail League. It's run by Sakuya, so I'll just call it the Sakuya League. Yeah, that is actually going on right now. The qualifiers have already been like set in stone. They're working out ways to get some other people that want in. So maybe if you're lucky and you ask very nicely, you can get worked into the Sakuya League. But it's going, and in 4 weeks from now, we'll have our big showdown.
Yeah, and I'll have to get with Sequoia on what of that and when of that is going to be streamed. You know, I've talked to him, and I'm going to help host that, so I'm really looking forward to that, man. I just love any kind of tournament, man, that's going on in the scene. Super cool. I sent you one more, Skyraider.
Oh, okay, let me get that real quick.
Which one do you want to go into first? I'll let you decide.
I think we'd go in the order that you uploaded them. So the first one is the map.
Fix your voice, man. Are you guys messing with me? They're probably just trolling me, right? Is my voice okay, Skyraider?
Yeah, I hear it. You're cutting out a little bit for me on Discord. I don't know if that's on the stream or not. I just assumed that was a Discord.
Yeah, no, that should just be Discord, but if I am cutting out, you've been dealing with it well, so good job. All right, so you said poofed Matt?
Yeah.
All right, let's see that. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we got a 2v2 here, submitted by old Premium Bow, and on his team is P-Mole. I don't know about that.
Oh boy, I'm trying to figure out the maps. So you said Premium and PVL, right? There's so many colors, oh no. And all the way at the bottom we have Desert Pave and a little Massive.
It's not so bad this time because at least their names are next to each other. Like, it gets really confusing.
Yeah, that is true, but I'm looking at the colors, I'm trying to figure out if it's actually a free-for-all. Because I'd imagine with that name, if this was a free-for-all, I could understand.
Okay, people are saying that Sky is quieter. Did that just happen, or has that been happening?
I don't know.
All I know. I'm sorry. I'm quieter. My bad. Why don't you take over the game real quick here, Sky?
Yeah, we already got some mole action. Premium going in with the first mole, snipes the farm, snipes another mole. Now we have 2 moles going like the last Jedi, just trying to kill each other. Oh boy, who's gonna win? Who's the ultimate Jedi?
We'll have to see. All right.
I think both moles are gonna kill each other. Yep. Oh no, Premium's mole gets to kill Little Massive's mole first. So really, Premium is the ultimate mole master in this match.
Okay, I adjust it. I should be a little louder in the game, and Skyraider should be down a little. Let me know, guys. But okay, so give me your summation of that mole play in the early game. Who came out on top there?
Premium sniped a farm off of Desert, and they traded moles. So I believe Premium. Yeah, I think Premium and PMVL are pretty far ahead. PMVL actually just went up to full 8. He has no fear.
Yeah, not only that, man, he's also taken a second base down here in the corner. You might be a little behind me. I'm at 145, but yeah, I mean, Premium traded very well, but he decided not to actually eco up, man. He went for the squirrels instead, and he's going to come out with some aggression here. Damn, what is PMVL doing?
He has the army, and PMVL has all of the farms.
Yeah, dude, 3 bases already, just trolling about. You know, he's gonna expand his territory a good bit, you know, be able to maybe place down some turrets on their team.
He gets to snipe a mole for free. That was a little unfortunate.
Yeah, indeed. But, you know, Little Massive here has got a nice little position put up for himself.
The problem is they've kind of contained themselves, really. They have a bunch of turrets, but they can't actually push out, and they don't know right now that PMVL just went up to like 16 farm and is now at super eco, and all they have is 2 bases. You know, they don't have any other expands that they can take. They have to move out of this little you know, base they've established.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point, man, because red and blue do have a nice little line here, but you know, they're only getting they're not securing additional bases, right? So that's not going to cut it.
Yeah, and actually, by the way, the map is, you know, oriented. They needed to move out and get some map control. You know, these bunkers are gonna stop them from dying, but now that PMVL and Premium have moved up, they can't get around now. They needed to get that high ground mill.
God, Premium and PMVL here just controls so much of the map, man. Like, look at their vision, you know, kind of containing and boa constricting their opponents here. And this little front for red and blue is kind of holding on for now, but it's not buying them any positioning here.
Yeah, and they're slowly picking off all of the turrets, so now they're running out of turrets. Premium's actually just placing down his own turrets.
Okay, so I'm assuming
the
Silence
lizards might be able to go in and clean up a lot.
Yeah, that green base is going to go down for sure, but these ferrets are pretty exposed, man. PMVL squirrels are in position and going to knock both of those down, which is a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
The lizards clean up all the squirrels, though, man. So, overall, not too shabby for blue and red, and they got that map control that they really need here. And, you know,
they could push the initiative, too, a little more for those lizards and squirrels, but they decided not to, which is a little unfortunate, because they are pretty far behind now.
Yeah, and PMVL also going up for that Badger. Just an insane economy, going up to 24 farms now. And I'm assuming the levels are better. I don't hear anything in chat, but nobody's complaining, so that's probably a good sign, right?
Yeah. Now they're moving up the turret line. You just gotta be safe.
Yeah, they're trying, man. And if they let this drag out, you know, I feel like yellow and green are gonna get the better composition here. Like, what did blue and red really have? I mean, that drumfire coming down would be a big deal. But the lizards are kind of Stone Age kind of here, right? And this defender's advantage is enough. Green and yellow can hold for now, but the ferrets are still alive poking in. Ooh.
Yeah. So they might be able to kill the... Oh, I don't think the drumfire's in range. Oh, that's a little unfortunate.
Yeah. The ferret's doing a good job just poking this down. They are going to eventually get it as long as blue can keep the other units zoned back with his lizards. And, you know, PMVL, I mean, that does suck for PMVL, but he's got a full another base, you know. That dropped them down to 12 farms, you know.
He can take the hit.
Right.
Yeah, he's only at 12 farms.
Yeah, and they've got that 1 o'clock base that hasn't been taken yet. Obviously, it'd be more courteous to let Premium expand there, but Desert Pave,
However, oh boy, Blue's lizards are just going in and cleaning up all of the production. Having all the food in the world doesn't matter if you have no production. The Badger goes down when it was halfway complete. Oh, it's a disaster.
Oh man, that is the worst feeling in the world. You know, if you notice, PMVL's money did go up a little bit there because you get the 180 food back of the building tier 3 unit if the warren gets destroyed upon. But yeah, blue and red, doing a good job so far, trying to get back into this game and muscle for some positioning here.
Yeah, Premium had to basically go in with his chameleon squirrel and be the police there so his ally didn't get completely killed. I don't think blue... Actually, do blue and red know about... Let me see if I can get vision to work. Yeah, I think they do know about the other base. So...
The 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't technically scouted it, but I'm sure they've got to be thinking. But you're right, actually. They don't have quote-unquote real vision of it, but PMVL's been over there a lot. But yeah, if they do think that base on the high ground is really important for PMVL, that could be messing them up a little bit here.
Yeah, controlling this high ground is going to be pretty good. Whoever gets it is going to be able to, especially if blue and red, they already kind of have a little presence on it with the drumfire and bunkers. But if they kill that gristmill again, they can push up their bunker line and drumfire and control the map. Yeah,
PMVL's definitely got to, at this point, so it looks like he might be AFK for a bit or something.
Up all the way at the back, we got Premium. With, like the 8 moles?
Oh my god!
Yeah, he's going in, he's gonna clean up all the mills.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Blue and red aren't reacting right now. They're just kind of sitting around like, what's going on?
I thought PMVL was
Red
AFK.
is actually starving.
He's
Red
done.
actually just died. Oh.
Premium Bow with the premium strats, man. Coming in the back door
Disaster.
with 8 moles and...
Yeah, the lizards are coming back, but Yellow's army is coming forward. If Yellow's going after the just going for the final engagement, but he could just go for the last mill and just kill the mill.
Yeah.
Actually, Premium's gonna do that. Yeah, and Premium cleans it up.
Damn, dude, what a crazy game. That was awesome to see. Just the 8 mole backstab at the end,
Yeah, and I think half of the defenses died when he lost that gristmill, so his friend's gristmill was out in the open.
Okay. Oh, God. Whoops. All right. I launched into, you know what? Actually, I'll just quit it. Press the wrong. For some reason, I expected that game to desync. My bad, guys. But are you ready to launch into Meow Kaiser versus Frog?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Spawning in the 6 o'clock, we've got Meow Kaiser.
And all the way at the top in the red trunks, we've got Frog.
Both running snakes and wolves here, so that's kind of interesting. And also no lizards to be seen, or defensive structures. What do you think about these decks?
This is like a very old meta when people would take 6 structures, or not 6 structures, 6 units.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be rough to fit in a defensive structure, especially when you're trying to go for this like 3 tier 2 deck build. I haven't really experimented a lot with this play style. I kind of like force myself to limit my tier 2 a little bit, but having all 3, 3 options in general, the tier 2 slot is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, the problem with a lot of decks though is if you want to be safe, you have to generally run like a structure or like moles, for example, because it's like, what if Frog just got like turret rushed right now? He would have no response to it. He could build squirrels, yeah, but the turrets would go down. If he gets mole rushed, he has no answer.
Yeah.
So it's very risky at the moment to run to not run like a structure or a mole.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. I normally always take a turret in my deck with me just for exactly that reason, and also because turrets are, I feel like, really powerful Swiss Army units in their own right. Like, imagine if Meow Kaiser took this base directly north of him, like on the low ground, and then sets up a couple turrets. Kind of creates this front line that he can reinforce, retreat back to. That's pretty helpful in the mid game.
Yeah, and then it's only 60 food. If you don't need it, you just sell it. It doesn't take like 10 minutes to get down.
So I think we should comment a little bit about these openings here, because it wasn't really just 8 farm boring stuff. Meow Kaiser went for a 5 farm double, but didn't really move out with it because Frog kind of responded and built some pretty safe warrens in response. So both players kind of nodding at each other like, yeah, we're going to get units a little more quickly. Our farm's going to be a bit behind, but so far nothing crazy.
Yeah, Meow Kaiser's farms are a little bit further behind though. He's floating a little bit of food.
Yeah, and the reason is because he went aggro and Frog went safe, right? And maybe Frog went AFK for a minute there or something. He was
Frog selling everything. This is actually very, because if Meow Kaiser goes in right now, he's not going to have any units. He's actually
you're
placing
right.
down moles. He is going to go in.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate for Frog, man, trying to resell and revamp up, and Meow Kaiser catching him right in the right moment, but Meow Kaiser might not be aware of that, so he doesn't overcommit.
Yeah, he actually backs off. that's kind of understandable because he was losing a lot of his momentum in that attack. If you base down a lot of ones like that, you can start getting units back up very quickly. So if you don't go right away and commit, you lose your option to attack there. So for Meowkaiser is just saying, I felt a little slow on that attack. I'm just gonna go back and go up.
Yeah, I don't blame him, man. It's better safe than sorry. He could have pushed the issue. Like, I think for a moment there, he had like a razor-thin window where he was like 9 squirrels versus 3, but, you know, the reinforcements were on their way, and he would have had to hit at the perfect timing. So, no problem. I like this play a lot. Go home, get your own tier 2, expand, and take it into the mid-game.
Yeah, and their decks are pretty suited for mid-game because of that wolf combination, a lot of T2.
Yeah, but the wolf, man, if it gets some snake stacks onto it, you know, it could go down pretty quickly. Meowkaiser doesn't have any pigeons here to counteract the snakes, but Frog does, so I wonder how much we're going to see that come into effect this game.
Yeah, that is true. He also has falcons, which are probably the best combo with wolf.
Good point.
Meowkaiser has chameleons and skunks, which do not hit falcons. So if Frog just goes heavy into falcons and just enough into like snakes, in fact, you could probably just go snake falcon, and that'll do much better than the skunk chameleon.
Yeah.
Even if Meowkaiser throws in a little bit of extra snakes, the snakes aren't really going to do that much against falcons because falcons have low HP anyways.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. The falcons and the pigeon and the wolf combined. I feel like Frog, if we kind of chill out for a minute, both players kind of macro up a little bit, put together their army compositions, I think Frog on paper is going to have that better, you know, overall DPS, and so we'll have to see, man.
And he has pigeons too, which will negate the snake's damage further. So it's entirely possible that Frog could just lose all of his ground army, but all of the pigeons and snakes are alive. However, we're not going to get to that point. Meowkaiser is going all in with Chameleon Skunk.
Yeah, so far it looks like he gets a really good engagement. I love the use of moles here to just kind of, you know, trickle him in, you know, spend the money as he's on the front line, kind of, you know, reinforcing with the moles, helping tank on the front, but looks like he's overextending a little bit, man. He took a really good engage, overstayed his welcome just a little too long, and the pendulum's going to swing back in Frog's favor a bit there.
Yeah, he picked off a few warrens and stuff, so it's looking okay. He didn't kill as much of the T2. It's enough that Frog really can't counterattack safely, and Meowkaiser wasn't on one base, so he's not that bad off, but
yeah,
this is kind of like a fight.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like, Meowkaiser could have been a little better off if he pulled out slightly earlier, but dude, that happens to me all the time too, man. Like, it's so hard to tell, dude, and you get that kind of blood in your eyes, you know, you smell blood in the water, you know, and want to finish it off.
He did have an army that was like twice Frog size, but the snakes and the skunks just did enough damage over time that the army just died because there was no pigeons to heal up to kind of counteract that snake.
Yeah, Frog was mentioning they went down on the graph around the same amount, and Frog's army was lower at the beginning. That is true, but Meowkaiser coming in again. Nice skunk cloud coverage, and Meowkaiser doesn't want to lose more of his tier 2, so backs out for now. That was good for Frog, but nothing super crazy there, right?
Frog didn't really lose a lot there. Meowkaiser definitely lost a lot more.
I feel like defending with skunks is probably better than attacking with them, because the skunks, you know, the defending skunk's already kind of in position to throw the gas down, you know?
Yeah, you have wardens to fall back behind, and Frog has pigeons too, which help a little bit.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a lot of pigeons though, just a little bit.
Yeah.
He has a mostly T2 or T1 army though, so the pigeons aren't going to be doing that much.
Here we go again, man. These snakes doing their job and knocking out, you know, tier 2 units pretty effectively. And Frog takes a great engagement.
Yeah, those snakes in this composition are just doing enough because the health of the chameleons don't really matter because the snakes will just evaporate it. The skunks from Meowkaiser aren't going to be doing much against Frog. It's just enough where it's kind of worth it because there's still some T1, but it's not enough to actually be very valuable because they're not going to be doing much damage to the snakes or the chameleons. Actually, no, sorry, or the other skunks.
Yeah, but Frog's got a little momentum here, man. You know, denying that base, you know, it's kind of a big deal at this point. Frog doesn't have a third yet himself, and it's really going to be difficult for Frog to take a third on this map, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, now that he's on his second base, now he's the one that has to try into attack into Meowkaiser, which actually Meowkaiser could have decided, right, I have all the gristmills on my side of the map. I'm just going to sit here and place like a bunch of structures. He doesn't have structures though, so he couldn't do that. But he could just place a bunch of wards out in front and be like, yep, I'm just going to sit here.
That pigeon giving, the pigeon's adding a lot of utility here, you know, giving that high ground vision, kind of topping units off for frogs, so far so good. Gonna lose the snake backing out, yep, so there's that.
Yeah, and he has the option, it's really nice because he has pigeon skunk. He has the option of just poking in and running away like this. He's gonna lose another skunk, unfortunately, or maybe not.
Chameleon goes down for it though, and a little bit of back and forth. Meowkaiser started taking the better trades there, but as the fight got closer and closer to Frog's reinforcing line, he mustered up enough to come back in and push Meowkaiser back again. This Gristmill's not going to get up. Just a tanking Gristmill probably, though, but that's going to be it.
Yeah, and Meowkaiser doesn't have enough left, so he GG's.
A really cool game. Okay, guys, I think we're going to do just one more.
Yeah, I think it's DJ versus Mishi.
Okay, hang on. Well, okay, this is the game from What's a Phone. Oh, you did submit this earlier, but if it doesn't desync, I'll take your word for it. So we'll do one more after this one, if that's all right with you, Sky. Yeah. Okay. That's fun. Yeah, we should end right around 10 o'clock, so perfect. Try to do 2 hours. Normally I go a lot longer. Yeah, it's been a good night tonight. It's been cool seeing. We've seen a lot of snakes, I feel like. I mean, been able to see, you know, some of the changes in action, and look like they're doing pretty well. Okay, let me know when you're ready, when you got that one loaded up.
Yeah, I have it loaded. Are we not doing DJ versus Mishi first?
Yeah, we're gonna do that first, and then we'll end with Tier 3 Double Rush.
Okay.
Okay, ready going into DJ versus Mishi?
Yep.
Alright, let's do it, man. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. Spawning in the 3 o'clock position, the one and only DJ Soak.
All the way in the 9 o'clock, we got Mishi playing as Quartermaster.
And let's see, DJ so far started with the 5th farm, but that's kind of, I mean, I'm not the biggest authority in the world on bull rushing, but, you know, a lot of times you queue that up anyways, regardless. And then you can go back, sell it, and come in with a 3-mole rush, right? And we'll see if that's what he wants to do. But Mishi's sticking around with the mines, and the mines are, you know, I'm sure Mishi just wants those mines there to make sure he knows what DJ's up to, right? I'm sure Mishi is aware.
Yeah, if it kind of messes with your eco a little bit, you can't just go up to straight it, because if you do, the pig will run into the 2 mines and die.
Right.
You can't really place warrens over there too, so that might mess with warren placement. But DJ decides, I wasn't going to go up to 8 farm anyway. You don't know who I am. And just places down 2 warrens. Mishi does see this, though. He's going to queue up his own warren.
Yeah, I mean, really, Mishi, he prevents that 8 farms, but I feel like those mines are really there just to keep an eye on exactly what DJ's doing, because he's a tricky player, man. He likes to do a lot of, you know, creative, aggressive stuff in the early game, and Mishi identified the 2-farm double coming out. He went for a 5-farm triple, so as long as he can hold, he's going to approach the mid-game with a slightly better economy, but we'll see how good DJ's attack is here.
Yeah, he places down a wall. We're going to try to get some... Oh, he just backs up. Okay, he just says, well, I don't feel confident in breaking that, so I'm just going to return back to base.
See, I wonder if he sells the warrens. I don't think you can as much as you want to, because then Mishi could just counterattack, right? Let's see how brave DJ is. Yeah, he keeps the warrens for now. I think that's the right move, because Mishi's obviously going to rescout right now. You know, if he notices he sold a warren, he's going to come at you 6 versus 3, and you might not be in good shape.
This map is very interesting. It's kind of unfortunate for both players because there is no like nearby gristmill, so you kind of have to run out. But if you divide the line to see who has what, there's not a lot for DJ. Like the campfire that's right next to him, there's all this higher ground that's separating him, so he has to go like this really elaborate way to get to those campfires.
Yeah, and that you know 5 o'clock base too. Yeah, if you split it right down the middle, assuming DJ could get to 12 o'clock, both players have capability to get 4 bases, but yeah, it's gonna be, I feel like it's gonna be rough for both players here, right? Like Mishi's expansion maybe to the southeast of him is probably the safest on the map, because that high ground, well, the high ground has that ramp though, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those maps you're just like, I hate this map. I don't want to fight on it. Just get me out.
Yeah, this is going to be real rough, man. A lot of these gristmills are kind of awkwardly placed. Nobody's got really clear natural or pocket bases or anything like that. And yeah, players like Mishi and DJ who are very good, you know, kind of aggressive players that stay on top of their scouting. It's going to be rough. And, you know, look, neither players even try to sneak a campfire yet because they just know.
Yeah, I think they just now discovered them because they had spent so much of that early game, you know, positioning their armies and scouting what the enemy is doing, and just now getting to the campfires.
Mishi gonna take that campfire, and that's gonna be the first point of contention this game. You know, DJ was right on top of him when he did it, so Mishi didn't even really try to hide it. He's like, you know, hey, I came out of that early game slightly ahead of you on income, right? I've got more stuff than you right now. Come and try to contest it. I'll take the fight.
Yeah, and DJ builds a mole. Mole doesn't kill the campfire. He sells it for 30, so that was unfortunate for DJ. He lost a good amount of food there.
DJ trying to go straight up to the chameleon, which does make for a really powerful mid-game army, but you know, Mishi's kind of being ruthless. You know, he's flipping the table on this map, right? Like, just getting out here.
There's no chameleons. There's just moles. You're hallucinating.
Oh, really? Maybe he built it and then sold it, or maybe I'm just crazy.
It got up, but then he sold. He was like, I'm not gonna have enough time to get chameleons up.
Here you go, man. 6 moles coming in. DJ Mole King here, trying to break this of Mishi, knowing I really can't afford to let Mishi just take this much map control. And takes a pretty good engagement. I mean, he lost a lot of money with those moles, but he got done what he needed to get done, it looks like. Unless Mishi can just barely hold off. Yeah, DJ's committed so hard here, man. He lost all those moles. He's really got to get this base taken down.
Yeah, he's placing down more moles to try and secure the advantage, but Mishi's stockpiling a lot of units, and those are lizards. Those will trade up on squirrels. There just might be enough reinforcing squirrels for DJ to hold this push.
That would be definitely rough if Mishi manages to hold on for DJ here, because he invested just so much into this. Let's see. It's very, very close, man. It looks like DJ's just going to barely be able to get the gristmill here. There it goes down.
Yeah. And from here, he's going to keep pushing. He might not be able to go and break his wardens, but he's going to be able to zone them out.
Yeah, very persistent. Yeah, DJ is definitely aware of that campfire. I wonder, yeah, he probably doesn't want to get that far out of position, but that is an option for DJ, man, after winning that big fight.
Yeah.
And he's going to go for it, but Mishi, man.
Yeah, and that's the problem with having a squirrel army, is if you move too far out of position, little lizards can just kind of run in and start cleaning up your wardens, and DJ actually can't be losing these wardens. We're starting to get down to really low eco. You can't be losing wardens at this stage.
Yeah, but DJ just wins a very critical fight there, man. That is definitely rough for Mishi, but you got to keep in mind that Mishi does have that extra farm here, so his income is slightly better. He's going to be able to reinforce a little more easily than DJ is, but that's actually a good point, man. Losing that warren really hurts right now, because now DJ's got to dump, 60 more food just to keep his production going.
Yeah, Mishi lost a lot of units though in that fight, so it's kind of even, but it's still looking really rough.
Yeah, damn, man. We're at the 6-minute mark here, guys. We're getting into a really scrappy game. Like, look how tiny these armies are for how late in the game this is. And it just shows you how back and forth it's been. And, DJ going for that second base here, and that's really what's going to decide this game, man. Mishi's got to follow suit here shortly. If I was Mishi, I would just take that safer base that's a little southeast of his main, I think that might be the best bet, or perhaps the one that's like northeast of it. Probably the southeast one, right?
Yeah, he decides to get campfire though, so a little bit extra eco, which can be really good in these low economy situations, so you don't have to commit entirely to a gristmill. But he decides to spend money on a gristmill anyways, but he's just going to be that, like, 2 campfires ahead of DJ.
Yeah, it's going to come in handy. Right now, we're actually pretty neck and neck. DJ floating a little food, so he is, I guess, in the lead. I mean, kind of, 15-ish tier 1s, about 5 farms each. Mishi's economy's a little more established, but once these bases actually get done building, I wish these replays, didn't show the income spike while the farm was being built,
Yeah.
But you just got to keep that in mind a little bit too, guys, while you're viewing the income graph. These farms for DJ are still underway, but they'll get mining here shortly. And now it's almost like this game of chicken, of how many tier 1s are you going to get before teching up? How many farms are you going to take on your second base? And Mishi trying to get something done with a counterattack, but DJ's in position. What do you do in this position, Skyraider?
DJ
Do you go
DJ's
greedy?
still unable to get that one campfire too, which is unfortunate because Mishi actually controls that campfire now. So Mishi is going to be basically up 3 campfires, which is actually very important because if they go up to 8 farm now, Mishi already has 2 campfires. He's going to be slightly ahead, but now he's gonna have access to that 3rd campfire.
Yeah, and I like the position of these lizards right here, too, for Mishi, as long as he doesn't lose them from not paying attention to them, because he's kind of like contesting this top side of the map with those, and you're right, these campfires down here right next to this choke, you know, really kind of contest really everything that's down here in the southern spot of the map, right? Like that gristmill and that campfire.
Yeah, and DJ can't move out to get those with squirrels because lizards can just run in and snipe all of his farms or all of his warrens.
Exactly, so really interesting, man. Good, kind of spread out, you know, kind of checking every edge here is Mishi, and yeah, I'm really curious, you know, these guys have been kind of neck and neck. DJ's saturating up a little faster, which makes sense, you know, because he's behind because of the campfires, but there we go. Now we're starting to get into a little bit more established second base economies here.
It's like we're playing a whole new game now.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened this game, man. What is going on? You know,
both players like took a lot of damage early on. They're just like, you know what? Let's just have like a 5-minute break to build up our economy again, and then we'll go at it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, I can't move in on you. You can't really move in on me. You know, as long as we're both playing this correctly and don't make any missteps. So I'm kind of interested to see who's going to be the first one to tech up here. You know, DJ opting for a very early to mid-game build with no tier 3, but Mishi's got the Fox, man. If he managed to get that out, you know, a player like Mishi could micro that all day long and get a ton of value.
Yeah, or he could run into 2 mines.
Yeah,
and instantly lose it.
That's true. And you never, like, Mishi hasn't seen mines, but, you know, obviously he's not aware of exactly what DJ's deck is, so
yeah,
you never know.
The only units he's seen really is squirrels, moles, and then he probably saw like a T2, so that's like 3 units out of his 6-unit deck.
Yep. I believe he actually did not get the scout on the tier 2 there, which is actually pretty important in this phase of the game. You need a kind of like that tier 1 chicken I was talking about earlier, where it's like, okay, we both gotta, you know, if you're gonna make more tier 1, I kind of got a 2 so I don't get ran over. And DJ's teching up, man. Those chameleons are gonna add a lot of strength to his army composition, especially if Mishi doesn't get up something, you know.
That chameleon squirrel mole is going to shred Squizzard comps.
Lizards were up there to surround in case DJ moved out. Yeah, basically, and that, and like keep tabs on this northern part. Make sure DJ doesn't go too crazy and try to take more and more bases. But you know, look, it's funny actually. Mishi kind of expected DJ to have this campfire down here in the south, right? So he came down there with the lizards and pleasantly surprised. Is like, oh, you never took that? Okay, cool. I'll take it now and reap all the rewards of it.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about having a Squizzer comp is you have this mobility that Mishi is using just to wander around. Like this mill up here, Mishi can just run his lizards up if he wanted to. It's too close to DJ's army, but if he wanted to, he could just use that mobility of the lizards to poke around.
And do you think
very useful?
Do you think the chameleons are gonna matter a lot in this next fight? I mean, Michi's got basically 40 tier 1 here, and DJ's got half of that. So we gotta see if this chameleon count is gonna make up for it.
Yeah, it's starting to get up to like 6 chameleons and like 20 squirrels. Lizard pathing can be very interesting. I feel like you can go either way, really, but lizards can just like derp into the chameleons and then just go all over the place and not do any damage. And right in this fight right now, chameleons are kind of out of position, but that wasn't a full committal by Mishi. He was just going in and poking with some lizards. Yeah,
good. Definitely good pickup there, taking out a Warren. But here we go. Here's the big fight, answering the question that I just asked. Are the chameleons going to be enough? And the engage was pretty decent for DJ there. I mean, his chameleons were on the front line. And it looks like the answer is yes, man. You know, DJ mowed down that heavy tier 1 base composition of Mishi, and let's see.
Yeah, but the reinforcements, in this kind of fight, the reinforcing lizards will do a lot more than the chameleons that are currently supply blocked that are not coming out. So DJ has to go back and sell a Warren.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's oftentimes what engagements, when we get into this position, you know, kind of scrappy. We're at like the 12-minute mark here. So a lot of times it can come down to making smart decisions on selling. Like, look at Mishi, man. He's a little supply blocked on these tier 1 units. Granted, they are cheap, so not the biggest deal in the world, but you don't want to sit around, you know, blocked in the red. You'd rather downsize on your warrant count and reproduce what you can more quickly.
Yeah. The nice thing about that fight, though, was it trimmed Mishi's forces down by a lot, and kind of forces him to play a little bit more defensively, because basically DJ just went and fought in his warrens and won. So that's going to make Mishi think, I need to play a little more defensively now. I might not be able to move out so much with my lizards, because if he attacks, I could just lose. But that allows DJ to farm up a little bit more and secure the space that was a little bit tricky to get to. But now he's secured it.
That's actually a really good point. I didn't think about that. Like, not only did Mishi lose that fight, but he lost that fight with defender's advantage. But here we go, Skyraider. The fox has been placed by Mishi.
Oh boy.
So
and in a fight like that, he doesn't even really necessarily need to poke out a lot with the fox with his comp, because Mishi already almost won that fight. With a Kasha there, he would just be able to put 24 damage into a chameleon, and that will basically just mean the chameleon's at like 16 HP, and then it gets killed by a bunch of lizards.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even need to get very good poking damage with Kasha, he just needs to have it exist.
I'm not sure if DJ's expecting the fox here. You know, he's got the chameleons, which after, you know, he bleeds off a few squirrels, when the fox comes in and initially says hi, you know, maybe he can try to set up a nice chameleon trap and try to bop the fox when it's coming in to harass through a choke point. But you're right, man. If Mishi can use a little bit of good micro and make the fox hit those chameleons a little bit in the engagements, it's going to make a big difference. But it's rough to do that, man. If you're target firing with the fox, you can't quickly micro the fox and keep it alive, right?
Well, here's the interesting thing about that fight is it's actually very easy for chameleons to get killed by Kasha in a fight like that, because they're at the front line. Their job is to be at the front line,
that's
and they're a melee unit, and they're tanking. So out of all the T2 that's most likely to get killed by a Kasha in a fight like that, it is chameleons.
Yeah, that's actually a really good observation. I didn't think about that, man, because I play with a fox a good bit, and it can be difficult to take down tier 2, but when that tier 2 is right up in your face, you know, you might get lucky and the fox just happens to target that anyways, right? And here we go. We're about to find out.
And this is the Kasha. Kasha's close to the chameleons, but the chameleon traps are kind of As you see here, DJ's position is out of position with the squirrels. So by the time the squirrels engage, almost all the chameleons are now dead.
Ooh, look at those mines though. It looks like they mainly go off the chameleons. Ooh. But yeah, I do want to note too, Mishi did a good job. If you notice when he was poking it with his fox, he kind of let his lizards get a little bit ahead. That's why I like fox lizard, you know, because you can kind of let the lizards mine sweep and chameleon sweep for you, because they can keep up with the fox, right? But DJ gonna go all in, which is a good idea if you're getting poked upon. You know, the longer you just sit around and get poked upon, the worse it can get. It doesn't look like it's gonna be enough though.
Oh man. Yeah, it's not enough. The Kasha cleans up the chameleon. The nice thing about Squizzard comps with fox as well is that it's a very cheap. You know, it might be a little expensive to do like pigeon, chameleon, and skunk, even though that's a pretty good combination to have with Kasha.
Yeah.
Squizzard is just cheaper to do.
Yeah. I thought that was a great game, man. And all right, guys. Well, we are at 10 o'clock, and I'm glad we were able to fill the full 2 hours. Thanks everybody for the last-minute replays. And
wait. We had one more replay.
We do have one more.
Double rush.
But I want to do announcements again before the last one, because after the last game, everybody's going to tune out, right? So we do have a tournament coming up, guys, on February 10th, being organized by Josh. It's the Spring Showdown. Tune into that, man. Join it. Information's in the Discord tournament page. I guess I could just go ahead and link it. It's at 12:30 EDT. I don't know if that means EST or not, or if it's close. But check that out, guys. And the Tooth and Tail League is going on as well, that Sequoia put together. Skyraider's been following that a little more than I have. So didn't you say a big part of it's already happened, right? Do we have brackets now?
It's already started, basically. So the groups have been decided.
Oh, I'm looking at it, yeah.
And right now, I think some people have already even done their matches.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but like some of the beginning ones. So you might see some of those games appear. I don't know where. They'll appear like on the
Oh, cool.
So you might get some really good replays.
I like this a lot, actually. It seems like it's like partially, at least at this phase, whenever the players can get together and work at a time. So, you know, looking at the brackets, did you link it? If not, I'll link it real quick.
I linked it, yeah. It came out right after yours.
I'm taking a link. Let's take a look at these brackets so far, and you know, I almost want to make predictions, man. I mean, cool to see.
Me and Pillow spent an hour doing predictions last night.
How many people get out?
It might have been a little bit biased because Pillow was in the brackets, but you know what? That's fine.
How many people get out per group?
Yeah, actually, if you go to the brackets right now, some people already have scores. Like, I think Duchu has 2 points, Pyle has 2 points.
Oh,
Jet is up 2. Oh boy.
Some of them have actually gone pretty far in their rounds, it looks like. Yeah, but how many people advance from each group?
It doesn't matter what group you're in. It matters who has the most points, basically. So, like, everyone in Group A could have, like, I don't know how many points you get mathematically, but, like, everyone could have 5. But, like, everyone in Group B could have, like, 8 points.
Oh,
so,
I gotcha.
Like, no one from Group A could advance to the top bracket, but everyone from, like, Group B could advance. It depends on the total score at the end.
Well, we got Mishi, we got Chip from Space, the Gentleman, Master Stealth, we got Meowkaiser, Classic Metal. We got a lot of good players here, man. Pile's in here, Xeno's in here, Pillow, Chet Erickson. Most of these guys are great players. If I didn't call you out, my bad. Doesn't mean anything for sure. But Amari,
you don't need the support. You're good on your own.
Yeah, right. Well, I can't call out every single person, right? Or else it wouldn't make any sense.
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. But this tournament looks really stacked, actually. I recognize a lot of these names. We've seen them a lot here on TnTTV. You can normally catch them near the top of that ladder. So really exciting, man. Cool that that's coming up. But all right, man, no more. I didn't call out Frog intentionally, man. Yeah, just to mess with him. But all right, man, no more messing around here. Let's hop into the last match of the night, Tier 3 Double Rush. I wonder what's gonna happen this game, Skyraider. Do you have any predictions?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder. I think somehow Printf is going to appear here, even though he hasn't been playing, and we're gonna see Wolf Kasha.
Yeah, this is why I always rename stuff, but like last minute like this, it doesn't really matter. But let's see it, man. I'm interested to see what Tier 3 they go for. Probably Fox, but let's get into it, man. 3, 2, 1, go. Desynced. I'm gonna trust.
It's distinct, but whatever.
Okay, so there are.
Oh, there is Drumfire.
Hang on now.
You might have a desync.
What is a phone? Reassured me that this one's fine. So what that means is that Boofy probably doesn't build any Drumfire cannons. I'm gonna hope. But anyways,
we'll take your word on it.
Yeah, in the 2 o'clock we've got Boofy.
There is no Kasha and there is no Wolf, and I'm disappointed. But all the way on the right we have What Is a Phone. Yeah.
Well, initially, What Is a Phone submitted this on time, but initially I threw it out because I was scanning through replay submissions, right? Saw that Drumfire, but he did reassure me and say it's good to go, so I'm just assuming Boofy doesn't build a Drumfire here, and then no harm, no foul. But we're going to see some Tier 3 rushing here, man, and I guess it's going to be Boar, so we might see some awesome Boar-on-Boar action. No. Some flamethrower.
Are we just going to see 2 Boars slowly lighting each other on fire?
It's going to take, like...
the case,
yeah.
I think What Is a Phone is just going to win because pigeons.
Yeah, pretty much. Case. They're just going to tickle each other for like 45 minutes. Oh, God. That should be a meme. But anyways, What's a Phone winning the early game by being more greedy, right? What we had here was, Boofy went for safe and What's a Phone went for greedy. So I'm going to put them slightly ahead, but not the biggest deal in the world. We're going to stabilize here into that 8-farm double tier 1 war in, and we'll just have to see where these guys take it. And, it's pretty bold for a double Tier 3 rush to happen here, because neither one of these starting spots are really ideal to rush to Tier 3, right?
Yeah, but I mean, Boofy doesn't have a lot of options here. He doesn't have any nearby, like, grist mills. He has, like, 1 campfire on the back. So if there's anyone that's going to do the double T3 rush, it should be Boofy, because he doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Or maybe he's going to take this time to grab a grist mill and get something.
I wonder if Tier 3 double rush means that both players rush to Tier 3, or that one player rushed for 2 Tier 3s. Did you consider that?
It's a mystery.
You never know,
I'd like to believe that Boofy goes, like, owl Boar somehow. Dude,
that would be amazing. But I'm kind of surprised, because so far nobody's getting crazy on rushing up, and Boofy actually opting for... this build's pretty standard. I feel like I don't think he did it in the order that I do it per se, but if you get up to that like 8-farm double Tier 1, throw down a Tier 2 there, throw down Tier 1, 3, and 4, and by the time both your Tier 2 are out, you got this nice 9 to 12 Tier 1 army to go out, and you can do a nice little timing attack.
Yeah, or you can use it to get map control. I'll do that a lot, where I'll go and attack the enemy and then not kill them.
Yeah.
Just, like, do enough damage for it to be kind of worth it. But it's like, in the meantime, I could have taken up a lot of map control, taken up an extra grist mill.
Well,
even if you don't want to go, like, kill your enemy right away, getting that map control could be very nice.
Yeah, what I really like about it is kind of that... It's kind of like a speed check on your opponent, right? Like, you're just going in there, at a reasonable time, pretty early in, with, like, 12 Tier 1, a couple Tier 2, and saying, hey... Are you screwing around, you know? Like, did you take a
Yeah.
quick base? Did you go for a tier 3? Are you doing something crazy? Because if you are, I'm just gonna run over you here. But if you're playing standard, a lot of tier 1 or maybe a tier 2 of your own, then you just kind of back off. You know, you're just kind of like shoulder checking your opponent.
It looks like your prediction was right, though. I think both players are going for a T3. Boofy's is going to come out first. It's actually just completed.
Dude, Boofy doesn't care, man. Look at that. Like, he just throws it up front. If you're a new player watching this, guys, like, typically with tier 3, I mean, tier 2, it doesn't matter as much, but you still kind of want to hide it. But with tier 3s, you definitely want to try to hide that from your opponent. But wants to reinforce this front Warren line, man, and looks like What's a Phone's getting a good trade here. So far, the Falcons are alive.
Is the 2v1 going to go down? Oh, that would be pretty... Oh, yeah, it should go down. If you're wondering, there was a patch a while ago where they increased like the health of T2 and T3 Warrens. They've recently reverted that, so all Warrens have 50 HP now. So having your T3 Warrens out in the front like that, it can be very bad because of a scenario like that.
Yeah, that was kind of Andy along with on that same patch about a week or two ago, you know, slightly longer build times for tier 3. This is Andy kind of, you know, pushing the tier 3 rushers a little bit. And it's happened to me in several games, to be honest, where I'll rush to tier 3 and my opponent will identify it, come in, and they'll just take it down with lizards so quick, man, and that just hurts. Like, oof. But I get it, you know, tier 3 rushing is definitely a risk, you know, and it should be treated as so.
I've definitely moved away from like going like an early Kasha to get map control, because it's very easy for the enemy to just decide, I'm just gonna make a bunch of T1. Oh, what's that? You just went for a T3 rush? I'll just walk into your base and like kill you. And I'm just like,
exactly.
Now it's game.
Do that shoulder check, you know, I was talking about earlier, and just kind of poke in and be like, oh, you put 360 food into nonsense? That's cool. I'll just run over you. But What's a Phone, man? He's got the boar. Let's see if it's enough.
This is not 360 food of nonsense. It's gonna come in. It's gonna roast absolutely everything. Oh boy.
Takes a lot of damage.
The boar's actually gonna die.
Oh!
Is it? Oh, 4 HP.
Fantastic.
Deciding, board doesn't need help. Let's heal up to like the 2 HP squirrel.
Fantastic control for What's a Phone there, man. Really tanking with the boar on the front line, pulling it back just in time. Now just these few pigeons will get it up, and yeah, I hate when that happens too, man, Sky. Like when your pigeons kind of, you know, will heal that squirrel over to your boar that's about to die, you know.
Yeah, it's really good that you saved the boar though, because the boar bomb wouldn't have been a value there, but it doesn't really matter. There's nothing left for Boofy. And the end is nigh.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be it. So that is also gonna be it for the stream. We're gonna end at a reasonable time tonight. You know, thank you everybody for tuning in, guys. Definitely check out Josh's tournament coming up. That's going to be here on TnTTV. Me and AV Ultima are going to cast it together. Me and Ultima casted an event previously together. That was a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to that. I had a blast casting with you tonight, Skyraider. You should do this more often with me. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I have a lot of available time, so I'd definitely be down for it a lot more.
Cool. What do you guys think, man? So here's the conundrum. If I'm being brutally honest with you guys, like, it's just, like, I know having 2 people is more entertainment, but from my side of things, like, just kind of doing it by myself can be easier in certain situations, but tonight it wasn't a big deal. I was actually running a little bit behind, and we got everything. I think we got lucky with that initial sound check, though, man. Like, that turned out pretty well.
Yeah, I had a little bit of, like, sometimes you'd cut out some, like, I don't know if you're finished saying whatever you want, but I kind of pieced it together.
Yeah, you did a good job with that. Dude, everybody says that to me. I might actually have to switch over to doing this on Skype with people or something like that as more of a stable connection. I think.
I think I could actually figure out the issue for you. I think I know what it is, but we'll do that off stream.
Cool. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget about the tournaments and events coming up. God, what day is it? It's Thursday today. I might maybe stream over the weekend playing some ranked, but if not, I'll see you guys on Tuesday night next week for another episode. And thanks everybody who submitted, and especially the last minute keeping me going. Oh cool, we've got Pyle streaming, man, so we're gonna give the host over to him. And yeah, that's it. You're all a bunch of beautiful nerds. You got anything else to say, Skyraider?
Oh boy, be prepared for Pyle's excellent plays. You will be amazed.
Yeah, if you're kind of new to Tooth and Tail, man, the guy I'm about to host, definitely a top level player. So get out your notepads, man. Enjoy the show. And we'll see you all next week.